Okay. I think we are live. Mic check 1, 2. Okay, we should be good. Music is playing. All right, happy Wednesday, everybody. What's up? What's up? How y'all doing? First in the house, we have Kale 130. What up, Kale? Dispatcher Gaming. We got Stang. What up, Stang? How you and the fam doing? Dispatcher Gaming was one of the lucky people to get the Steam controller ordered. It's on the way. What's the delivery supposed to be on those? I was not going for one. And we'll talk a little bit more about the controller and stuff on the stream and look at the scalped listings and all that stuff. But I also run a poll as to people who is all interested or not in the Steam controller. But I'm just an Xbox controller guy for life, I think. The form factor, I'm just too used to it. What's up, Mia? Yes? Here. You can type on the keyboard if you want. There you go. Don't clap too loudly. What up, Paddle South? What up, Flip? Rudo Jin. Okay, girls, that's a little loud. As much as I despise scalpers, I detest the people buying from scalpers even more. I need a silent keyboard for you guys to play on. Yeah. Okay. What's up, Ixca Lopez from Hello from Tijuana, Mexico? What up? What up? Dang, they look double in size, lol. Yo. Whoa. 3 to 5 days? Okay. I know nothing about the controller. I haven't been keeping up with it. Okay. Here, let me get you a toy. Can you guys share? Probably not. Yeah. Other than that, let's see. Today's probably gonna be a pretty chill stream. We'll talk about Steam controller, and then we'll just kind of like last week, go wherever chat takes us. In terms of hardware tech news in the last week, I don't think there's anything really major that I saw anyways. What's up, Hazard Me? Oh no. You drop your toy. Paddle South says, I'm like you, Danny. I like my Xbox controller with my PC. Yeah. I mean, it's just from how many years now? 25 plus years of using an Xbox controller. I think it's just a thing of familiarity. And the Steam controller, I don't know. $100 for a controller, to me. Oh, here, you can play with the Xbox controller. Oh my goodness. You squirm so much, girl. Here. Xbox controller. Yeah, so my go-to is the Xbox controller. I have multiple. What up, Chris? How much is the Steam machine going to sell for? The price, it has not been announced yet. The price, the predictions for the prices though are all over the place. Some people I think are coping and thinking it's gonna be like $500-$600. I think it's gonna be. I don't remember if I put a prediction. I think I did in the. Let me check in the Discord channel. What did I put? Tech predictions. Where is my tech prediction on it? Steam machine. Yeah, I think the cheapest model would be $700. But I think the cheapest, like lowest storage, lowest config is gonna be at like 700. love. Auntie's here. Okay, the girl's gonna go now. Here you.
Yeah, what the hell is wrong with your diaper? Come here. I know.
Okay, bye bye.
Get down here with your dad.
It's I switched from an Xbox One controller to an 8-bit though. I'm a fan of 8-bit though controllers. I should take that back. I'm a fan of the Xbox layout, and there are a lot of companies that make similar form factor / shaped Xbox controllers, but they're essentially mimicking the Xbox controller as opposed to mimicking, I don't know, a PlayStation controller or a what's it called? Like a, I guess not a Nintendo Switch, but like a game. I don't know. There's so many other controllers that have existed over the years, but the Xbox One, I think, has stayed pretty true to its original self, minus the Duke, because that thing was horrendously big, and that's what I kind of get vibes of when I look at the Steam controller. You should start a flip or flop series. I mean, there's already a decent amount of tech tubers who are already doing it on in the PC tech space. I'm not interested in. First of all, I don't flip PCs. It's not that I've never flipped PC. It's just not one of the main focuses of my channel. But yeah, that type of series I've never been interested in pursuing. I think right now the two channels that I've noticed doing the most flip or flop stuff, or three, it's Greg Salazar, Tech Yes City, and then Ed from TechSource actually surprisingly started doing that. I think the most recently, because he used to be all about just like the new parts builds, but he's been doing used market stuff more lately, just changing it up. But GameSir G7 Pro is my go-to right now. Yeah, there's a lot of different. Oh, whoops! I gotta plug my keyboard back in. Let me go on Amazon real quick. If we just go to Amazon and look up game controllers, let's just say PC. Here, no, PC gamepad. That's probably the better term for it. Oh, look at this. This is the thing that piloted the submarine, right? This is copying a PlayStation layout, which you don't see that much nowadays. So then we got our Xbox, like the 8-bit though. Let's see why. Okay, whatever. That doesn't matter. Yeah, the 8-bit though with the kind of joystick, gamepad joystick layout. Even though it's not the exact same shape as the Xbox, I would say it's Xbox-like. So I would clump it into that category. And then you got some like Power A. This is definitely just an Xbox. Similar, same with this GameSir. This is closer to the original Xbox controller S shape here. The Ace Gamer. There's no shortage of game controllers on Amazon. And they're all like, you can, if you want to, you can find one for pretty cheap. I probably wouldn't go for like, what's the cheapest of the cheap we can find, actually? I'm curious now that we're talking about game controllers. I have bought, let me see if I still have this controller from over like 15 years ago. But, I, for the most part, kept every controller I've bought over the years. Oh, I do have one of these Logitech ones. Where is that other very crappy Xbox-like one, though? Yeah, I like back when before prices went out of hand. You guys can still hear me or no? Is it breaking up at all? Oh, here we go. Let me just grab all the controllers I have over here as we make our way back. Did the signal cut out at all? I went pretty far away in the basement. But talking about old controllers, so here is a PlayStation 2 like Logitech. Is this wasn't the one that we just saw earlier, was it? Actually, it's very similar. So that one has like the gem colored buttons right there, as well as only 3 buttons in the middle and circular housings for the joystick. This one, I don't remember what year this is from, but this is a Logitech controller. So it doesn't have the colorful buttons, as well as if you look at the housing that the joysticks sit in, it's more of a square cut. And there's 4 buttons on here. So slightly different, but Logitech still that PlayStation 2 form factor. Growing up, we had a PlayStation and then a PlayStation 2 before we had the Xbox. So I actually played on like a, what were they called? Like PlayStation analog controller, when they first introduced the joysticks. I played on those first before I got introduced to the Xbox. But once I started playing on the Xbox controller, I just thought that was the superior form factor all the way. I'm an Xbox controller guy too, although I use a Scuff. Yeah, Scuff. Yeah, Corsair did buy out Scuff. I forgot what year it was. I feel like it's been a few years now. Firefox, why do you make it so weird now for tabs? Scuff controllers. But yeah, Scuffs, they're like the exact same shape as Xbox controllers, right? Oh no, actually I think they do both. Yeah. So they do the PlayStation 5 controller as well as the Xbox shape. So they have both shapes. Yeah, PS5, Xbox. I guess what's the PC one? I think the Scuff ones are a little bit more pricey though, right? How much are these? Yeah, $170. The only time I've ever had my hands on Scuff controllers was like at PAX or conventions where they have the booths with them. I've never owned a Scuff controller. They're always a little bit too pricey for me. I traded out my Xbox Series controller for a Logitech F310. Logitech F. Wait, I can't. Watery Events 960. You're trolling, right? I think you're trolling, but also I think there might be some people who actually prefer this to like a modern Xbox controller. Also switch to 8-bit. No, my problem with Xbox controllers is the constant drifting problem. Yeah, but the thing is, yeah, you're right. Stock Xbox controllers eventually will get stick drift just because whatever the heck joystick tech. But if you get just a Hall Effect gamepad, like you can, like GameSir has this, which is the exact same shape as an Xbox controller. I guess when I talk about which controllers you prefer, I'm talking about the shape and form factor. Oh, whoa, it just disappeared into the green screen. It disappeared into the green background in the green screen. But I'll run a poll on it in a little bit. We're just still chilling at the beginning of chat here, waiting for people to get to stream and all that good stuff. Just having chit chat. What my one gripe, and this one I got for cheap. I got for like $30 because my buddy has the Microsoft hookup. But I think standard price Xbox controller, let's see, official Xbox controller. These things, 52, yeah. Normally, well, technically on sale. What's the price history on this? So normally they are listed for 70, but I don't think that's their going price normally. Let's take a look at the 3-month trend of the prices on Amazon. So yeah, it's pretty much constantly $52. I feel like given the competition that exists out there and the fact that how much are the Hall Effect controller, if there's any under 50, then it's just, oh well, here's a GameSir $30 Hall Effect for $30. So yeah, at that point, why even bother going with the official Xbox ones until they get some kind of like magnetic servo type systems in their controllers? I use Xbox style only controllers here too. I have 2 Elite 2s and Scuff Instinct Pro, which is my go-to. Yes, that Games controller is great. I think I have that one. Someone in Zach's stream recommended because the anti-stick drift and lasts the longest so far. The game, sir. Yeah. Elijah's Lab. Oh yes, Elijah's Lab also has PC flipping content. Yes, yes, yes. That's like all he does. Because the other channels they do other stuff as well. Like Tech Source, Greg Salazar, and Tech Yes City Brian. They do other content, but I feel like Elijah's Lab, like he only shows flipping content. So if you want PC flipping stuff, I feel like he might be the most well-known channel, at least that I'm aware of, that pretty much every video is flipping related. Greg hit it perfectly with the flip or flop series. I did a handful of similar vids calling them Hardware Hospital, and they absolutely tanked every single time. Flicks are, well, the fix or flop terminology, because it's was known before the PC, YouTube space with flipping houses and stuff like that. I think fix or flop is very simple. It's monosyllabic words, but yours is hardware, which is 2 syllables, hospital, and which is 3 right there. The name's a little bit complicated. And then I don't know if I would use the term hospital with regards to talking about any PC like tech support fixing or troubleshooting. Like I would use terms like troubleshoot, but that's also troubleshoot, 3 syllables. I don't know. Hardware hospital to me, that doesn't roll off the tongue. And personally, I don't think hospital is a great word to use for tech content in general. Akuma, what up, Akuma? Thank you for the gifted memberships to the viewers and in the chat. The submarine controller was the F510. What's the difference? F510. So here's the F310. Did they remove or rename? Oh, here it is. Oh, this one looks more like is mine the F510 then? No, it has a circular housing. What model is this? This is the Rumble Pad 2. Quality. So this is, I'm not sure if this is gonna focus. Is it gonna focus? But it's the Rumble Pad 2. It did pass quality control check. Rumble Pad 2, but the layout does look very similar. 4 buttons in the center, and then everything else. I don't know what the difference would be between the two. I wonder if that's what it evolved into. Can we find Rumble Pad 2? What year was this? 10 wired buttons, release date. Let's see if Google AI is smart enough to know this. Rumble Pad 2 was released around January 2003, with reviews for the controller appearing as early as 2004. It was a popular wired and later wireless PC controller for which drivers were still being updated as late as 2009, 2010. So apparently this is that old. I actually have not tested if this thing still works. I just have it in my wall or my shelf of stuff that I don't know. I'm just a hoarder. I can't get rid of stuff like this. Maybe one day this will be like a relic that is worth a lot of money. I don't know. But it's good for conversations like we're having tonight on stream. It's a good talking piece. Gamester is best bang for, in my opinion. Yes, it is the best bang. Maybe you can do a quiz to see what you might prefer. What time is it? We still have a little bit of time before we'll get into the Steam controller conversation. Let me get through all the chat first. I think I'm sticking with them for the future. Yeah. Gamester, I hear a lot of good things about. What is my other controller that I have that a company sent me? I have another controller that's like pretty fancy pants Hall effect as well. I just don't use it as much. Oh, this is a Beitong. I got one of these. I think it's called the Beitong something. I don't remember what model it was. This one's kind of cool. Like, it's super customizable. I have a box of the rest of the accessories, but like the front, you can take off the front plate And all the stuff is like you can pop off the sticks and stuff. So it is very modular, and it comes with like different height sticks, different gamepad. I guess these things with D-pads rather. Let me make sure I put this back the right way. It even has like separate buttons. Like the buttons pop out too. This is a little bit more of an expensive controller, but it's not my go-to just because I don't know, something. I'm just so used to the Xbox. How do I pop this thing out? If I can pop it out. It should be, oh, there we go. Like there's other buttons that you can put in here. Come on. Apparently not. Come out, you. These 4 buttons also pop out. I just can't get them out right now. I can kind of wiggle them, but I don't know why they're so stuck in there right now. But I forgot how much this one was, or how much this one goes for. I love my Dreamcast. I don't even remember what that looked like. I never had a Dreampad. Dreamcast. Oh, okay. Yep, I remember. I've played with this before. I never had a Dreamcast, but I had family members that did. Any skills you gotten on Marketplace? Not recently. Not. I haven't. I have decent deals in my area, but nothing like super crazy good that I need to go pick up at more recently. I do need to offload some of those parts that I picked up in the last pickup video though. So I think I'm gonna make some content around offloading them. But for picking up stuff, no. I haven't needed anything yet. Hall effect and newer TMR controllers are very competitively priced. I also switched to 8-bit though simply because they are newer tech to prevent drift. Yeah, Xbox are the Xbox Pro controllers. Like what's the most expensive Xbox controllers? Elite? Like are these ones even, what are the joystick? What is the tech in here? Adjustable tension thumbsticks. Okay, interchangeable components, yeah. Let's see if they mention anything about drift. They don't mention anything about drift. Can Xbox Elite controllers get stick drift? Yes, the Elite Series 1 and 2 are notoriously prone. Yeah. And how much are those? Xbox Elite controllers are like, they're in the upwards of $100. Xbox Elite. Here's I don't know, $90, but that's refurbished. Xbox One Elite Series 2 Elite controller, metal buttons, rumble. This one's only 45. Let me see. What the hell is this data frog though? I bought a Xbox Elite controller and stick drift out of the box. Yeah, I think moving forward, like I'm good on Xbox controllers, so I have these two. I don't remember what specific like, because you know they've had different different ones even for the same the new latest version of Xboxes. These two are slightly different. I forgot by what though. Oops, I just turned this one on. But yeah, the next controller that I'm buying definitely gonna be magnetic based joysticks and buttons. GameStar G7 or 8-bit Duo 2 are the best versions of Xbox core model, but I like getting 2C for, wait, what? What is 2C? Hall effect controllers feel different than regular thumbsticks. Took you a while to get used to. What up, Extreme Zone? What up, HDZ? Can't wait for it. You got okay. So, we're about 25 minutes in the stream. Let's run the first poll. What controller shape do you prefer? So, PlayStation, Xbox. Is there any other controller shapes that I can't think of off the top of my head right now? No, I'm not gonna put N64 or GameCube. I think those are the two major shapes, right? In terms of modern consoles and PC gaming. It's Xbox versus the PlayStation shapes. There's not really any other like well-defined shape, to my knowledge. Oh, the 8-bit Ultimate 2C. Got it. 8-bit Do. Yeah. Or apparently it's pronounced 8-bit Do, is right? Ultimate 2C. This is, I mean, I guess you could consider this shape slightly different. Which this one is more like a Switch 2 Pro controller, right? That's the shape that it's going for. Though I would say just if we were to simplify it, I'd lump this in with the Xbox shape because of the joystick layout as well to the D-pad. I would just call this an Xbox-like. I only play keyboard and mouse. No. Keyboard and mouse isn't part of the question because we're talking specifically about controllers. Obviously, for most people who game on PC, aside from some like driving games or maybe action adventure, single player, cozy games, most people I would think play on mouse and keyboard, but I'm talking about the form factor shape. So okay, it's PlayStation versus Xbox shape. So we'll run that poll. It won't arrive. Ant-Man's gonna intercept. The sub used a Logitech G710 wireless. Just double checked. That's just so crazy to me. I wonder if they had multiple ways of controlling the sub, just in case there's, you're talking about a wireless controller that could fail, or the wireless connection could get spotty or something. I wonder if they also, they probably had like manual controls in there, but I wonder if they also had like USB ports to plug in wired controllers too. But, I have a 5070 Ti Ryzen 7800 X3D 64 gigs. What should I upgrade in my PC? Nothing. You should enjoy your PC because I don't think there's any much more meaningful upgrades than what you already have. Sure, you can get a better graphics card, but is playing at 1 or 2 ticks up higher of graphics settings or, getting some more FPS gonna make you that much happier at the cost of spending hundreds more dollars? You have a perfectly workable PC. If anything, get some peripherals. Maybe get a gamepad. Get other things not related to your PC because your PC is good enough. There are other things that can bring you more enjoyment out of the PC experience that would be outside of these specs. Like, your PC is good. Go buy better headphones, better monitor, better gamepad. Save that money for groceries. I don't know. Like, you don't need to upgrade when you have literally, really modern components that are capable. I also love my GameStar G7 Pro. Also ordering the new GameStar. Yeah. For me, the PlayStation DualSense is the go-to. Love the two sticks side by side for accuracy. The ones identical to Xbox is having a weird stick on top. Yeah, so we're talking about having. Now that I think of it, what is more comfortable? Here's if the two joysticks were down here. I don't know. Maybe yeah. So controllers are obviously a preference thing, right? There's no right or wrong answer, and not everyone's gonna agree. Like with your right hand on the Xbox controller, I guess over 25 years of using the thing, you get used to having your thumb be a little bit lower down to control, aiming and such. But the left hand, because you don't really use the D-pad much with the Xbox controller in a lot of games, except for like menu-based things or like interaction. So this one has just been trained for so long to keep the thumb up here for movement. But you like it down here for the PlayStation, where both moving happens down here as well as aiming. And I mean I could see why, and that's how I played games like previously before starting to use Xbox controllers. But yeah, I think now me using a PlayStation controller feels really weird. I pretty much never use a PlayStation controller, which is basically this one. This one feels like I'm having to reach with my left hand to get down here because it's so used to just being up here, even though this one I've been okay over so many years to reach down here. So the Razer Wolverine V3 Pro, what is that even? I don't get Razer Wolverine V3 Pro. Wireless esports controller for Xbox. Okay, so it's another Xbox. It looks a little like kind of like chubby, doesn't it? Yo, what up, Indecline? At work, I'm launching an entire build. Wait, I'm launching an entire building, all server, network, and end device hardware. Well, I hope I'm able to help you get through work with all this controller talk. I'm kind of cooked. How many hour days are you pulling for that? I got 9800 XT off Facebook Marketplace, brand new for 360. That is a good deal because after tax, that should usually come around $400. So you got like a 10% ish discount. I own the Xbox Elite controllers and they're crap and break easily and faster than regular Xbox controllers. Now the Steam controller just came out. It's like OG Xbox shape now. So let's take a look at the Steam controller itself, which I do have the product page. So let's take a look at the shape. I think I've held the original Steam controller. Well, first let's talk about the fact that they called this one also. We peeked at the Duke controller. What up, Jason? Speaking of the Duke controller, nah, man. Once the controller S came out for the original Xbox, like everyone I knew went to it. The Steam controller gives me Duke vibes because of how big it is. My God, look at this thing. But the Steam controller, why didn't they call it the Steam controller 2 or something? I think when I was looking, so it's Steam controller. When I was looking up images on Google, and this is incognito, so there's no like, saved history or whatever the heck. The the old one comes up first, and it'll probably be like that for a little bit until these are more common, across other websites and eBay and all the listing stuff. But this original one came out first, and man, looking at this, did anyone ever own or use one of these? And did you guys like it? For the new one, they do have the touchpads, which I don't know. What do you guys think? I guess some of you have already ordered it. Jason, did you get a pre-order? They like to pretend failed products never existed. Did you? So who pre-ordered this? I saw some people in the chat say that they pre-ordered it and they're expecting it. I didn't order it because I'm not looking for a controller. And I don't know how I feel about this. It looks like, imagine if these two touchpads weren't there. Can I zoom in at all? Yes, I can. Imagine, I'm holding this up to the screen like you guys are seeing here. Let me scroll up. Imagine if the touchpads weren't there and this was the controller. It feels like they kind of had to squish it, right? To be able to fit these pretty decently big touchpads on here. But if the touchpads weren't there, this would be the layout with the joysticks and the buttons as is. And interestingly, yeah, they did follow the PlayStation layout with the two joysticks next to each other. They're trying to forget the failed Steam controller for the Steam Machine 1, not Steam Machine 2. I mean, I don't know. I feel like they could have named this some other way so that when people are searching, if they're trying to like forget it, they should have given it a different name, because now every time people look up Steam controller, these are going to pop up first and remind them of this failed product, which I think I know a couple people who said they actually really liked this controller. I never like used it to any extent to like form an opinion, but having only one joystick to me seems like a huge disadvantage, but I don't know. The second one looks AI. This one? Ooh, 60-hour work week. That's rough. That's 512s or 610s. Oh man. Hopefully you get through that and you get overtime. Xbox joystick layout is best for me. My main game is Rocket League. It looks like a controller made for Among Us characters. Steam could have easily solved that problem, Darren, with adding a 2026 at the end of the name. Yeah, good point. That is one way of like differentiating products or things, which I even find that kind of odd. Like, because eventually people are gonna forget what year it came out in. Like, they've done that with movies and like I think some games like Call of Duty or some other ones before, where they kept like a reboot or refresh version with the name in parentheses with the date. But 3-4 years from now, I'm not sure if people are gonna remember that the Steam controller came out in 2026. So then they're just gonna say the new Steam controller. Maybe they could have just called it the new Steam controller, and take a page out of Nintendo's book, right? I didn't pre-order it. I simply cannot think of a reason why I would need trackpads. That's what I was thinking, but I didn't want to be a hater about it because I think there are good use cases of it. So at first I was like, why the frick would you want these trackpads, which now make the controller like, you know, bulky? This thing is huge. And the trackpad positions, I don't know. So if we were to hold the controller like this, right, the trackpad, just looking on the size of it, it looks like the trackpads are going to be lowered down here. And yes, I do have small raccoon-like hands. So maybe for you people with large, gigantic hands is not a problem. But this just doesn't feel natural or comfortable. Though the use case for the trackpads that I've seen do kind of make sense, as people explained it. Like, some games have weapon or ability wheels, right? So you're playing and you know, they have a lot of abilities or weapons that you could toggle through in the form of a wheel. Doing it via mouse and keyboard makes sense because the wheel comes up and you can select anywhere easily with your mouse on the wheel. But on a controller, doing it with a joystick kind of sucks. So I can see using a touchpad. Once you get a weapon wheel up, you can like easily navigate around it. As well as the controller is going to be able to do like special key bindings and custom bindings and stuff through Steam. And I'm sure a lot of games are going to have like the software or like actual in-game support for it. So when it was explained to me like that, that made sense. Because yeah, the joysticks, when you are in whatever situation that you might need a mouse for, the joysticks just kind of suck. They're not accurate at all. Because you're relying on the angle of tilt and stuff. Whereas with the touchpad, you would be much more accurate being able to, you know, flick and stop it. So yeah, if I want a trackpad, I'll use my laptop. No, but that's the thing. You might play a game where you might momentarily need a trackpad for, you know, menu navigation or whatever the heck, right? Like I think Assassin's Creed is a perfect example of this, where it was totally designed with the PC in mind, because when you open up the menu, your cursor now is controlled by the joystick, which sucks because you're just moving it slowly over to stuff. When if you had a mouse, you can instantly click on things. But there's a lot of other games like that where the menus, like, you have to navigate a pointer via a joystick, and it just doesn't feel good. But for $100, I feel like we just looked at Amazon and we just saw so many options at $50 or less. The Steam controller does have the unique factor of the touchpads, as well as the integration with Steam. So there's that software benefit ecosystem wise. But I feel like $99 is a little steep for a controller. I don't know if I've ever personally spent 99 on a controller. The most I probably spent was around $60 for, you know, these Xbox controllers back in the day, before getting discounts on them. I want Steam Machine, but that might get scalped as well. Uh, I I don't. I mean, most likely everything everything gets scalped within the first couple of weeks to month or two, in like the last how many years now? Probably like ever since COVID. Even before COVID, that kind of happened with like launches of graphics cards and stuff, because they can never keep up with the demand at the beginning. But the Steam Machine, I would. The only thing that I'm not seeing is like, I understand with scalping the Steam controller because there's no alternative to it, right? I feel like you could build a computer using used parts, and that would be your alternative to the Steam Machine. So even if the Steam Machine gets instantly sold out and it gets scalped, at least there's very good alternatives. You can just build whatever computer, install, you know, SteamOS, Bazzite, whatever the heck you want to do on it, and you get a close enough experience. Whereas the Steam controller, people who really want this, it kind of sucks for them because once this gets scalped, there is no alternative to this that I can go to Amazon or the secondhand market, you know, to get an equivalent replacement of. So I will make my own Steam. Yeah, exactly. Make your own Steam Machine with Bazzite. When RDNA 5 GPUs drop. I'm very curious about the Steam controller. Not sure if I want to spend $100 on it though. Yeah, I think it's a little pricey, but it's already sold out. Apparently people are going to get it within the next 3 to 5. Well, let's see. It went on sale the 4th of May. May the 4th be with you. I don't know if they were trying to coincide with that nerdiness of Star Wars, but we go on eBay. We can already find the let's see if we can find the old Steam controller. Okay, what is it? So people are already in Australia selling this for $208. Okay, here's the old Steam controller, $93. The original Steam controller is still being bid for at $93 with 4 days left, so it will likely go higher. I'm very curious. I mean, they don't make these anymore, right? So you could probably can you buy a new Steam controller 1? What do I put in for this? Steam controller 1. Can I buy this at Steam controller 2015? This one has the parentheses year on it. People are reselling the Steam controller on eBay for $299. I did not see the $299 listing yet. Where can I buy the original Steam controller? Can you get on Amazon? It's probably gonna be. You can buy the original one for $250, brand new. What did these sell for originally? Launch price. What was the original price of it? 2015. 2015. They went for the original Steam controller released in 2015 had a launch price of $50. It was often bundled with Steam machines. Okay. I just want to make sure if that was the correct info because we are relying on AI. PC Perspective 215 article. Yes, so $50. It looks like they are. This is sold. Who is selling this? No, this is sold by Top USSD. Yeah, so people are scalping the old one, which you should never buy. You can buy it secondhand for as low as from other sellers on Amazon, like a very good condition one for $80. This is going for $80. Why? Who is bidding on this one? Oh, this is the wire. They're all wireless, aren't they? Steam Controller 2026 is going for cheaper on the scalper market here in Australia than the US. Yeah, okay, let's take a look at the back at the eBay. I mean, new Steam Controller, new inbox unopened 2026. This is in the United States, $200, one bid. Who? 6 days. You know what'd be funny? If they renewed the stock within the next 6 days, and whoever ends up paying $200 plus for this, because it's gonna get bid up even higher, like this will eventually be available. I don't know. $400 of that's why it's still in stock. Let's look for sold listings. Sold listings, sold items. FOMO tax. The thing with me is like, I guess no FOMO tax has ever made sense, right? When there are alternative, like perfectly viable alternatives that you can use while you can wait. I kind of understand for like DDR5 systems and things like that because it's an investment. You don't want to invest into a DDR4, with DDR5 being, you know, the new standard and all that. But like for a controller, I just don't see. Maybe it's because I'm a reasonable person. Not to say that anyone who buys these are unreasonable. You might just be rich and it just, you know, it costs nothing to you essentially. So, let's see. So these old ones though are being like they're selling for $100. This one went for 31. No USB dongle though, so I wonder how they're gonna get around that. Ended recently. Okay. Where are I want to see a sold listing of the new one. Here we go. $299 actually sold May 6th, which is today. $70 for the old one. $350 in hand, ready to ship. $350. 88.9% positive. 262. These are legit listings. Another old controller. No, man, a lot of these people don't have dongles with their old Steam controllers. I think Valve was ahead of its time with the Steam controller and Steam Link. Wait, oh, the Steam Link right here. This one sold for only. Wait, does this one work? Only $15. Didn't a few years ago these things were basically free plus shipping or something like that? Am I remembering this right? Maybe this was a decade ago. My memory's bad when it comes to the last 10 to 15 years. But I could have sworn at one point in time, Valve was just trying to give these things away. I didn't get one, but looking back, maybe I should have. So is this one in working condition for only $15? Yeah, these things, no power supply, but you could probably, the plugs that these use, you could probably just, you know, either make one yourself with a kit from Amazon or just buy one that's like the same specs. But yeah, $15 untested. You can get these for pretty dirt cheap, under $20 it looks like. But let me make sure the condition is good. These days, you can just Steam Link from your phone. You can just stream it right onto your phone and like hook up a Bluetooth controller to it. Yeah, I'm not the demographic for a $200 controller. Yeah, me neither. I'm barely in the demographic for like an $80 controller. Is there no I gotta click on original listing. Here we go. Yeah, 11 bids, ended, $10 shipping, so $25. Use Steam Link exterior does show signs of wear, but does seem to function. Wi-Fi and other functions have not been tested, but it should be functions that were only HDMI and powering on has been checked. Okay, so this is kind of like maybe a slight risk, though I don't imagine why this would have any issues. Having controller FOMO is crazy, lol. Yeah. I kind of understand graphics card, CPU FOMO, like major hardware pieces FOMO, and even to some degree video game FOMO, right? Like when GTA 6 comes out, I think I'm going to buy it, whatever the friggin' stupid price is going to be. But a controller, I personally don't see it. Okay, let's go to other, so 8-bit dose stuff, 280, yeah, 270. This is ridiculous. Let me see in my local area. See if anybody local to me. I wonder, where does it ship out of? From Valve headquarters? Because that's here in Washington. People might have it day one. Steam controller. Let's see what people have listed on here. So here's the OG one for really expensive. 125.90. But then there's some cheap ones. No, that's not it. No, that's not the one that I'm looking for. Steam Links for $60. So nobody has the new Steam controller. How about Facebook Marketplace? Hi there, just checking out the polls and wondering how's your day. What's up, Sore Eyes? My day's going well. We're just chilling in stream, talking about kind of the latest big thing, I think, in tech news, which is kind of unfortunate. We're talking about freaking controllers because Intel apparently canceled Arc, at least Celestial, maybe Druid, and it doesn't look like NVIDIA and AMD have anything really cooked up. I don't know what they're going to do at Computex. Like, I don't know what the announcements are going to be for upcoming stuff, but I don't imagine it being too exciting. This is going to be another Computex that might just be like, oh, look at all these new AIOs and cases, which I'm kind of over. There's already so many good choices now that I don't get excited for those things. No new Steam controller, though I can get... Yeah, look at this. It's California. What? Why is it in San Francisco? 40 miles within me. Yes, it's actually the trackpad FOMO. Yeah. The first Steam controller at the time they discontinued it, sold officially through Steam really cheap. Yeah, I got one off Steam. Yeah, $10 a Steam Link and a Steam controller. Yeah, I bet we could find Reddit posts on this. Let me see. We'll go to this tab. So Reddit Steam Link cheap. Free cheap alternative. No. Steam Link deal. Come on. Got brand new Steam Link. I found Steam Marketplace. Steam Link. $1 with game Icy. This is what they were doing. So yes, this was like 10 years ago. I was remembering right. It wasn't in super recent years. I remember at one point in time, I remember this exactly. This, I don't know what this game is, but I remember when they were basically, this game was $8 and they were selling the game with the Steam Link for $9. So they essentially sold it for $1, and this was back in, which is kind of crazy, in 2016. I did not jump on this. When was the Steam Link though? Steam Link release date 2015. A year after they sold it, bundled with this game for less than $10. Which kind of makes sense. I don't know how much it costs them to develop, or I don't know how much the hardware costs. But if the Steam Link is a gateway for people to get onto the Steam platform to buy games from them, which is where they make the most of their money, because it's all just software, as well as taking a commission from all these producers and publishers and stuff, when stuff sells, they're literally selling like inanimate objects, digital bits in the ether. Like, that's Steam had their business model and profit, the way they make money is crazy when you think about it. They don't have to produce hardware. They have to have, like, you know, headquarters and servers and offices and stuff probably like that. But the actual product they're selling are like digital goods and licenses. Controllers are, I agree. Controllers are important. It's how you interact with the game. But when you can buy something that is really good for like $30, then, you know, but I also get the other side of it, at least at $100. I don't understand the buying for $300 scalped on eBay prices, but I understand spending like $100, even $200 on a controller that normally goes for that price. So a non-scalped, always $200 controller, because if it's built well and lasts you 5 to 10 years, and doesn't get stick drift and doesn't have like, you know, wearing out. Or if it's one of the modular ones where instead of having to replace the whole controller, you can replace like specific only the buttons or the sticks and stuff. That to me is okay because it's just one of those things you invest in and you don't think about it for 5 to 10 years. It just works, and that's what you use. So in that regard, that makes sense. But I'm just always gonna be like, hey, you could also kind of get that experience out of one of these for $30. So the frugalness in me will always kind of trend towards products like this. Gabe Newell better be signing each controller for $100. Now, I think $100, given that they are bringing something unique to the table for the Steam controller, is fine. I'm okay with this price point. There obviously is a audience for it or a customer base for it because it's out of stock. Like I think within 30 minutes I saw it went out of stock pretty quickly. So I think it's okay at that price. It's too much for me personally, but I think for a lot of people who primarily game on the controller, or just excited about it, I don't think it's too unreasonable of a price. These people buying at scalper prices are the worst. I'm trying to think. I can't say that I've never bought at scalp prices because I did during the pandemic from official resellers too, like Newegg. But I have bought scalped GPUs when that's the only thing that was available. For these controllers, I guess is a different argument because there's other alternatives. So yeah, I don't get the paying $300 for that. Wait, where's the poll? Okay, so far the poll, if you haven't voted yet, vote with the poll. But so far the Xbox is beating the PlayStation 2-1. So about 2/3 of the votes, 67%, people have voted they like the Xbox shape better than the PlayStation shape. WTF is lip scrub. Lip scrub is kind of like granular, like almost like salt that you can rub on your lips when they're chapped to remove the layer of dead skin on your lips. So think of it like lip balm, except with like grains of salt or other things in it, elements. But then you can put it on your lips, rub it in. It'll help scrape off the dead skin layer, and then you renew your lips. I don't know. Yes, lip exfoliation. Yeah. I bought some $15 controllers from Temu for our last meetup. And more than one person said, damn, these controllers are nice. What are they? Dude! Okay, so I don't have any of those types of controllers on, but we're talking about cheap controllers. Did anyone ever have one of these from back in the day? And this was before Temu. This is the, I don't even know what the model of this is, but for those of you who know, you will know. So these are mimicking the Xbox 360 with the little orb here and the kind of rounded shape. But this controller, I remember buying back in college. So we're talking like 2009, 2010 time frame here. And these were $10 a piece on eBay. I bought 2 of these just because there's no way I was going to spend 40 or $50 on an official Xbox controller when I could get these for, you know, $10. Nowadays, I think these are going for a bit more. I think these still exist. But we've come a long way in like the Chinese product category space where, like Jason said, like modern day Temu knockoffs and AliExpress knockoffs, they're closer to the game serves that we were just looking at than this garbage. This thing is horrible. Like, it just works as a controller. It gets you gaming, but I'm pretty sure this might have had stick drift out of the package. I have one of those, but mine is wireless. I paid like $20. Yeah, I have one of those that never worked. I think this one still might work to this day. It's just I haven't used it in years. Let me see if I can find it on Amazon still. Let's see. Xbox controller. The way we find this is by sorting to lowest price. And then we got to scroll through all the skins and all this other BS crap. Once we start getting into $10, $15 territory is where we're going to find it. So we're in $16 territory. Wow, we're cheapest one is $23, so maybe they don't have it. Here's a skin. Where's all the ultra cheap stuff? Let me go back to a generic search. Xbox gamepad. Come on. Oh, sorry, the ones the ones you got weren't knockoffs. They were just other I guess brands. I've heard, let's see. We're easy SMX, so kind of like games are 8-bit though. Oh, here's the Xbox 3. This was essentially what I had. Yeah. This looks a little bit different. No, it's the same thing. Now they're $15. Apparently 4.3, 1,200 reviews though. I use ManBud now. I love it. Wait, what? Oh, this looks fancy. Spin to win. What is this? Freaking Temu? I hate websites that always have these types of pop-ups. Get 10% off. Like you weren't already going to give that to me. What the heck? This has an LCD screen on it. This thing looks very fancy. How much is this thing? Look at this. It's see-through. You can see some of, actually, no, that's just, I think that's just aesthetics. It's not the actual, like, fancy internals. Okay, Menba is on Amazon. Menba controllers. Oh, $70? Dude, these things look pretty sleek. And they are Hall effect. Sticks and triggers. I've never heard of this brand. But then again, I don't follow controller or, gamepad brands that closely. Transformers, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, it's got all these little things like it's about to transform into something. Dude, this thing actually looks very cool. And wait. I know that looks like that would be soldered in. So I don't know if that has replaceable parts. You can customize the colors without software. You can do it on the controller itself. So you don't need to install something on your PC, presumably, if this is anything to go by. Yeah, this thing looks pretty cool. $70, not too. I mean, that seems pretty reasonable given it has like the modern tech that people are looking for in a controller these days. Never heard of this brand. Yeah. Paid $55. They go on sale all the time. Yeah, we can probably look at the price history. Graphs are off. Huh? Oh, new. How much do these go for? Amazon. Wait, why is this not showing up? Okay, how about this one? Wait up, track product. Oh, range. Oh, okay. This $70. It's because I didn't put the range. Okay, here we go. I don't know why I would default to anything else. Let's look at the last year. Oh yeah, you're right. We'll go back to just the new. It does look like pretty consistently it goes on sale for 50. Yeah, you wouldn't have to wait more than like a month or two to get it on sale for 56, which makes it even a better deal. Huh, okay. What? This makes me curious. Gamepad. What are the most expensive controllers? Let's look at minimal $200 controllers. What are we even looking at here? Having a controller with the charging dock like that is so handy if you play on PC. It's perfect. That's something I personally don't have. So, does this have a charging pack in it? Yeah, so the controller I have has a charging pack in it, and I just recharge on USB-C cable, which I do have right next to my desk for like recharging whatever phone. So I unplug it whenever it gets low, but I've never really used like a gamepad that not a gamepad, but a dock for a controller. But I do have desk space now where I probably should invest in one. Though Is there ever a concern about keeping, because you know, lithium batteries for controllers specifically, is there ever a concern about keeping it topped off? Like for my phone, I don't charge up to 100%. I charge to 80 and basically do like that for battery longevity. And similar to like our Tesla, we charge up to 80 only like once a month. Do we ever charge up to 100%? Because that's apparently what should help for the battery longevity. So for stuff like game pads and stuff, which do use lithium batteries, is it bad to constantly keep it topped off by sitting on a dock? Though I wonder if there's docks that are smart enough to know to like either slow charge once you get to 80 or if you can set a charge limit. You're overthinking it, man. Just leave it. Jason, if we're going to be spending $300 on controllers here and we want it to last 5 to 10 years, these things matter. It's nice to just lay it on the mount after playing and it's always charged. Yeah, no, you're right. It's cheap enough where who gives a crap, right? But that's the first thing my mind goes to because for these other products that are more expensive, like a smartphone or a car, it makes more sense. But yeah, for something that's like $50 or less, who cares if the battery degrades? It's just you just replace it in 5 years, which is still cheap over, you know, cost per ownership each year. No. I was using the most extreme example of the $300 FOMO people who bought the Steam controller, the new one on eBay. I use a controller. I'm great with the mouse and just suck with the keyboard. How do you suck with the keyboard? I think I have, just to dick around before, played with, and I don't know if newer games support this, because I feel like with newer games, it like flips between mouse and keyboard or controller. But there were games that have supported in the past where you can move around with like your gamepad here and aim with your mouse. So that could have worked. I haven't tried that with modern games though. I don't know if doing that and flipping back and forth would like mess it up or if that's just an interface thing. You know, like have you ever tried using both mouse and keyboard on a modern game? The UI changes, you know, like or not the online, but the on-screen tutorials and stuff. It'll switch like instantly once you start using one or the other. But using them simultaneously, I don't know if that is possible. That is Unk thinking. Modern tech has it figured out. I would not be surprised. The Switch 2 has that. One Joy-Con can be the mouse and the other can be the joystick. Lol. Yeah. Most good chargers have smart battery charging for longevity. Yeah. You would hope so. Okay, so let's take a look at what these expensive controllers are. The Razer Raiju V3 Pro. $219. Okay. The Wolverine, though I think we saw it might have been cheaper elsewhere. Among Us ass looking controller. The Wii U Pro. There's no way this actually goes for this much, right? This is just like scalpers. Yeah, this is we're talking about a Wii U here. Old Steam controller, the 8-bit Ultimate 2C, 8-bit Duo Ultimate 2C. Wherever the heck this is. Here's the Easy SMX, speaking of, Jason. And these are unavailable. Yeah, the prices of these are stupid because they're like discontinued products. Okay, so I'm glad that there's not a lot of actual results popping up for $200+ controllers. So the X05. Is that your main controller, Jason, that you use? I know some of you guys have answered this already in the chat, but for those of you who did not and only took the poll, what is your main go-to controller? We did see a lot of GameSirs. We did see some like Xbox Elites in the chat. We saw a Razer Wolverine. But what is like your go-to? I know some people have multiple controllers, but you have a favorite. It's like with your kids, you have a favorite kid. X05, so that's Easy SMX, you said? $26, limited time deal, down from 30, so 10% off. And you can save an additional 5% on 2 select items, wireless. Yeah, this looks like a pretty standard controller. Hall joysticks as well. Wait. Oh, ACZ. Sorry, I missed that. No, the super chat alerts are working. I think my volume is just very low on the computer. Just ordered the Rosalina Turtle Beach Rematch wireless controller for Switch 2 for my wife for Mother's Day. Oh man, Mother's Day is coming up. This is the first Mother's Day for Melissa as well. What is this that you got? Turtle Beach. Oh, the Rosalina version. Okay, for the Switch 2. $64. Turtle Beach Rematch. Wait, this is the wired one. Dang, they double the price? Okay, wait. Officially licensed. Is that the only difference between these two? Wired and wireless? $30 to $65? This one is more pretty though. So there's that. No, buy his wife a vacuum for Mother's Day. Don't tell Melissa. I'm gonna take her out for Mother's Day. I'm gonna take her and the girls out to the waterfront area, and if we buy stuff there, we'll buy it. But I did not buy anything ahead of time for Mother's Day. I'll buy her flowers while we're there, fresh from one of the local vendors at a crazy, ridiculous price, that kind of stuff. And then we'll eat at some restaurant that she wants to and pick up vendor food and stuff, street vendor food. But in terms of ahead of time gifts, did not plan it. Rosalina has RGB too. Okay, like I don't know, man. But that double the price. The wireless I can understand because who wants to have a whole wired controller hooked up to their TV? The switch that's sitting in front of their TV. But dang, Power A. I used to think Power A was kind of like Mad Catz, where like it was the cheap budget controller. But then I came to find out that Power A apparently like makes some really good stuff. Remember old school Mad Catz controllers that weren't the official ones? They were always shaped a little bit differently. Is Mad Catz even around? They still exist? They're not out of like what? They used to make like, the steering wheels and basically the third-party controllers for the consoles. But it looks like I haven't even thought about Mad Catz in years. But now they make mouse pads, or they sell it. Maybe they just rebrand it, as well as mice and stuff. Huh. Power A got better. Yeah. It's like, it's really interesting that back in my day, like years ago, right? It used to be having the official licensed branded controller from whether it be Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation, whichever. That was like the gold standard of thing to have. And having a third party, whether it be from Mad Catz or whatever the heck existed back then, there definitely was not as many brands of third party stuff back then. I just remember Mad Catz being probably the biggest one, alongside maybe a couple of others. Mad Catz made good stuff. How dare you? I'm talking like PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 days. I don't know if at some point in time Mad Catz got a lot better stuff, but I always remember like and I don't know if it was a licensing thing. Nowadays, those GameSir, Scuff, everything that we see, it's pretty much mimicking the exact shape of the Xbox controller and the PlayStation controllers. But back then, Mad Catz controllers used to be like a little bit fatter, a little bit more rounder around the edges. Sometimes the placement of either the joysticks or buttons would be a little bit, it just felt different in your hand and not as good. And it was the controller that the guests or your little sibling used. But, it was never good as the main thing. But now, as we see in chat, everyone's complaining about official controllers being the ones that have like stick drift and breaking earlier and stuff like that. And everyone loves these third-party brands more now. They went bankrupt like 8 years ago and then reopened a year later under the same name, but an Asian company owns it now. I was not aware of the Mad Catz lore. Let's see what they have. You can even find Why would you put this on the right side? Who designed this website? Is it because it's Asian and everything is the opposite side there? Like driving and stuff? Why? This should be on the left side. No, this should not be on the right side. Products. Let's look at their game controllers. What do they got? Yep, so they're still making steering wheels. They've got these things for your phone. Oh, arcade sticks. I think I never had problems with their arcade sticks. Okay, so their game pads, Xbox like, wherever the hell this thing is. Okay, Xbox like, yeah. Huh. Most first-party controllers often follow order trend for products and build them for cheap and sell high. RD, like research development, party often innovate the industries they're in. Mad Catz made good arcade sticks in this. Yes, exactly. They even had the official ones from Capcom. Yeah. So I that also was like the next era of, I think, when Mad Catz probably became at least in my mind, what I remember, when they started making better third party stuff like hand controllers. The competition were tight between Razer, Logitech, Mad Catz for gaming peripheral. I don't remember Razer too much specifically. And Logitech, okay, let me look up these Logitech controllers. Gamepad. Let me see from the official. I want to see what their legit gamepads look like that aren't the ones that look like they pilot submarines. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking, Jason. The only thing I think of for Logitech and gamepad are these submarine controllers. But let's see if they have a modern day gamepad. Gamepad and controllers. I don't know what I'm expecting to find. Gamepads and controllers, and they got all these little music, like, adaptive gaming kit for, okay. Come on, Logitech. This is what Logitech has right now in 2026 under their gamepads and controllers section. The only game controllers. The F310 and F710. Straight up submarine style controllers. They still sell those? Sheesh. They look the same 20 years later. Hey, but they're cheap. $15 and $30. Well, this one's not too cheap because for $30 you can get the game, sir. But this one for $15. Wow, Logitech. Do you not want a piece of the pie? You could easily spit something out for like 30 or 40 bucks and gain a little bit of market share. You guys just don't care. Deshaun says none of my messages have popped up. Wait, has they not? Let me switch to the all chat. Sometimes YouTube hides some stuff. Oh my god, wait. Everything just changed for me. Oh, I think that's why this freezes. I figured out why this freezes, Jason. When I switched to from live chat to all chat, I think this needs the new URL. I think. We'll see. This looks like the stuff you would see at a hotel when you pay $12 to play Super Mario 64 for half an hour through the TV. Yes. Yeah. It looks like garbage. I used to regularly use Mad Catz mice when I was younger, and they're amazing. The innovation, design, and the features. Crit ZOP. Hey, Danny, crazy to see the controller went from 100 to 250 on eBay. Heard it sold out within 30 minutes. Yep. Anything special about it? The only thing special is that it's kind of like Apple in their ecosystem. If you're using it with Steam, you're going to get you can use like custom mapping and keybinds and stuff like that with it. And the trackpads. I think it's the trackpads is like the biggest selling factor of it. And then second is the integration with using Steam or the upcoming Steam machine. yeah, I think those are the two. So okay, but Deshaun, I see your other message that got retracted up here. Did you retract it or did someone sell it? Oh no, okay, now I'm seeing it now that I'm showing all chat. The Steam controller will be huge for living room gaming. Using the touchpads as the cursor will be awesome. Yeah, touchpads, very useful for cursor. Joystick for cursor, very annoying. I hate it. I hate it. The F310 is amazing, lol. It has a switch on the back to change it from X input to or direct input. Wait, does this one have that? I don't think this one has a switch on the back. It has a switch, no, mode, buttons 9, 10, vibration, no switch on the back of this one, which this isn't even, this is a precursor to those, is the Rumble Pad. Now, after 100 votes, we're at 70% Xbox preference in the poll. 70% of the people prefer Xbox shape over the PlayStation shape. What up, me from here? Okay, so how did we spend the last hour talking about controllers? Because there's that little tech news going on at the moment. I use AIM PS5, but I much prefer the Xbox controller with Hall effects, smart mouse bumpers. Oh yeah, extra. Do you guys like these? So I don't use this controller enough, but do you guys like these rear paddles or bumper or these buttons in the back of controllers? So this controller has them, and I mean it's 4 buttons, you know, that you can map to whatever. Oh, this even has 2 extra ones up here, but I haven't I haven't used this enough to get used to using these, and you know, also custom mapping it per game that you play. Or I guess you could probably use some software to map it outside to like have the equivalent of keyboard bindings and then use like that to play. But yeah, I've never gotten like used to these back paddles. So I don't use them. I still use this controller mainly when I play, which do not have them. Yeah, they're nice. You can, yeah, it's so that you can like do difficult like button combinations, or if it was the equivalent of something to keyboard, something that's like far away to hard to reach, or just having more buttons in general. But I've never gotten accustomed to playing with them. The ROG Ally has rear buttons. I've never used them and sometimes accidentally hit them. They're annoying, says Tavian. Yeah, that's kind of like my thinking about it too. Like I feel like because these aren't standard, most games do a decent job at coming up with control layouts and mapping and stuff that work without them, right? So they're not necessary, they're just a nice to have. But I think it takes time, like you have to put the time and hours into getting used to them to make them like more second nature. GameSir G7 Pro back buttons are better, and yes, I used them. 70% of people here are weirdos. Oh, nah. Honestly, I think the PlayStation controller enjoyers are the weirdos. Definitely the weirdos. Like, PlayStation controller, does it still look kind of like almost like a boomerang? Let me look at this thing. What's the newest PlayStation controller look like? PlayStation 5 controller. Does it look like it could potentially be a boomerang It does. Yeah. Look, I'm gonna look up. Okay, where's the? That's not exactly it. There's U-shaped boomerangs that exist, and there you go. There you have it. There's your PlayStation 5 controller shape right there. There's your PlayStation 5 controller shape. Now look at the original PS3 controller design before they brought back the DualShock. PS3 controller. I mean, what was the difference between this and the PS2 DualShock? Was it PS3 and PS2 like the same? I didn't have a PS3 until way later, but I didn't spend nearly as much time on the PS3 as I did as a PS2 controller. No, that's the DualShock. Look up the original. Oh, that's what you meant. PS3 original controller. Wait, isn't that the one with like the touchpad thing in the middle? Yeah, I think I got the DualShock PS3 original controller. This? Wait, is this what you're talking about? The actual boomerang. I don't think I've ever held this thing. I've never used one of these things. Oh my god. PS Damelin, what's up? PS5 weirdo and proud of it. The new features on the PS5 controller are pretty cool, I'll admit, when the game supports it, like adaptive triggers and touchpad usage. The only controller we need is keyboard and mouse. Nah, even as a primary PC gamer, I do use the controller for some games. Single player games, like action adventure, open world type games. I like the controller. I like being able to give in like a partial input to move. And I guess you could probably do that with newer Hall Effect keyboard or the Hall Effect keyboards where you could actually do like pressure sensitivity on keys and stuff like that. But to be able to just slightly tilt your joystick to walk very slowly versus fully tilting it to run and stuff, and just being able to sit back and relax in game on some titles, I think it's nice. I would not want to give up the controller and only ever mouse and keyboard. This thing is hideous. What the frick? Was there ever a company that made the original PS2 controller design? I assume it wouldn't be made by Sony, so an aftermarket one would be fine. I would love to have one for the weird factor. Yeah, what the hell, man? Did this thing like actually ever physically exist and was available? Let's ask AI. No, the infamous Boomerang PlayStation 3 controller, formerly known as the PS3 prototype, was never sold to the public or produced for mass retail. I wonder if they ever just hit the market, though. When they announced the PS3, they showed this and then swapped back to the DualShock. Let me see. Prototype. I feel like people... I bet you there's some... PS3 prototype boomerang. 3D print. I was about to say, you could probably 3D print and then put some circuits and stuff in here. Why is someone... Oh my god, look at those print lines. $30. Who would buy this? Prototype PlayStation 3 move wheel. Rare, almost $700. So not even... Yeah, can't even find a prototype. PS5 controllers have better features if supported. I could see that. Yeah. But how many games on PC and Steam do support those features? PS1, 2, and 3 were pretty much the same. Dude, I remember on PlayStation 1. So original PlayStation 1 didn't have the joysticks. But they did eventually make a DualShock controller for it, right? So the original one, this is the original PlayStation controller, which looking back, holy crap. Like, not having a second input to aim. This was like before games got into like a 3D world where you had to traverse the 3D space and aim in a 3D world, right? But I think there were some games that came out in original PlayStation that did make use of it. I just remember playing like the original Gran Turismo or any driving game, being able to give your input in the form of a joystick as opposed to a freaking D-pad button was such a huge game changer. But then yeah, so it looks like they just kept this design onto the PS2, the DualShock, into the PS3. Well, I forget what the PS4 controller looks like. So PS4 is like pretty similar. They made it. It looks more ergonomic and round with the touchpad, and then what's the PS5? Freaking slightly more boomerangy. Very small moment in gaming history. It was shown but never sold, as far as you know. Yeah, maybe someone leaked or someone who had the prototype. It might exist somewhere. After 40 plus years of using controllers since the Sega Master ST1000, I can never get used to playing on mouse and keyboard. Controller weirdo for life. Yeah, there are some people who are like that, like not weirdos, but are just, controller gamers for life, which is not a problem. The DualShock D-pad is awful in my opinion. Yeah. I mean, once the DualShock controllers came out, there wasn't much use for a D-pad except for like menus and things like that. What's up, Logan? What up, what up, what up? We're talking about game controllers. Can we go until the end of the night talking about just game controllers? You think anybody here? So we go to Amazon. There's got to be N64 USB controllers, right? There's definitely a market for this. But do you think there exists people out there? Because there are two directional inputs here. Even though it's not two joysticks, did any of you, when you played GoldenEye back in the original N64, did any of you guys change your input to solitaire? Remember, GoldenEye defaulted to the Honey controller scheme, which meant you moved around with the joystick, and if you wanted to look up, down, left, and right, you used the C buttons. But if you changed to solitaire, which I think was 1.2, controller scheme in the settings in GoldenEye, you moved around with the C, which is like early day predating, dual joysticks, but movement with the D-pad on the right side, and you would aim with the joystick. I remember when my older stepbrother introduced me to that controller scheme, that blew my mind. To be able to now aim with the joystick as opposed to using this stupid ass C buttons, it was such a game changer. You just became so much more precise. But do you think anybody like prefers this as their favorite controller ever, even in modern games, and uses this like with Steam and with modern titles? There's USB controllers of every controller. My brother has some SNES ones. Yeah, so I understand the market for these because people like emulators, and I think, I take that back. I've played like Super Nintendo and N64 games on emulator, and they work fine on an Xbox gamepad. You just have to map it correctly. But I for sure people prefer playing it the original way. Like I have a GameCube emulator, or not emulator. I have a GameCube USB controller just for playing Smash on the computer, but it also works on an Xbox controller as well. You just have to map it. But, you know, like Smash only feels right on the GameCube controller. Us fighting game enjoyers were always in search of good D-pads to complement what we didn't want to when we didn't want to use fight sticks. But what is the general consensus on what the best gamepad shape is in the fighting game community? You can play GoldenEye with 2 controllers? Is that true? I've never tried that. And I don't have an N64 to try. I guess I can do an emulator, but I'm not that curious. GoldenEye, I don't think I ever... Isn't it on Steam now? Didn't they remake it? Wait, what? Or was that... I thought they did a GoldenEye remake. Like an HD remake. What was that on? Oh, it was on the Xbox Live Arcade? Okay, nope, I remembered it wrong. I thought... Maybe it was a fan project that was available on PC, but definitely wouldn't be on Steam then. Yeah. Sega and SNES, what's this? Sega controller. This, yeah, more mimicked. This mimicked closer to a gamepad, or not a gamepad, but a fight stick, because it has the, you know, low, mid, high punch and kicks with the 6 buttons you could do. They did a port for the 360. That's right. Okay, yeah. Y'all don't play with Power Glove? I'm sure there's content creators. Power Glove PC gaming. Guarantee. Nintendo Power Glove on Windows PC. Yep. Though, did they do... Let me see this. Solitaire? Okay, wait. Are they only playing on old school Windows? This looks like a retro... Yeah. I want to see, like, what was it? Elden Ring on the Power Glove. I bet you there's something. Has anyone beat Elden Ring with the SNES gun? Come on, there's gotta be Elden Ring Pro Ghost. No. Great Ghost. No, oh, I guess not. Nobody's done this. I'm surprised nobody's done this. I feel like that's some fun content right there. Yeah, I feel like the D-pad, I always thought it was a little bit more precise when doing like quarter circle stuff, or like you know, Z, not Z, but like left down left type of inputs for games like Street Fighter. The first time I played Street Fighter was on Super Nintendo. It was Street Fighter 2 Turbo. So back then there was no joystick either, and that's just like my entry into fighting games. So I would be okay with having to play games like Street Fighter, not Smash Brothers, because Smash Brothers has a different input scheme, but games that, you know, specifically need directional left, down, or any of the diagonals for input. Modern Street Fighter, old Street Fighter should still be fine with it. There are some projects that I just don't get, man. Like, there's one guy who spent years making Nintendo/PlayStation games run natively on Dreamcast. Like, why, man? Because I can is not enough of an answer. Look, some people are just building their resume, okay? They're just tinkering and building their resume just to say that they have the experience doing that kind of stuff. I don't know. Ant-Man, do you see my chats? I do see this one. Uh, your last thing that you said before that was, have you ever owned a Surface Pro and is it good for emulating? Never owned a Surface Pro. I see your chat, but I also see like a bunch of other people's chat, and I can only read so many. So, I'm, as you've noticed, I read Jason's a lot because his name is highlighted. Not because I favor Jason over anybody else, but his name is literally highlighted in blue because he's a mod for the chat. So I read his chats probably the most. Meowmageddon, Hori fighting commander for a gamepad. Wait, Hori fighting commander for a gamepad for fighting games. What is this? Yeah, and just become a mod. Hori fighting commander. Whoa! Look at that. You could use. Well, so they give you 2 sets of R1. So you wait, R1, R2. So I see L1, L2. What? What? Okay, sorry. I needed to get like situated with the layout here. So our L3, R3 are normally when you press in the joysticks, but there is only one joystick here, and maybe it's not mapped here. So they've taken. So you see here on the right side of the controller, I don't know how easy it is for you guys to see. That says L1, L2 on the right side. And over here it says L3 on this bumper and R3 on this back bumper. Or trigger, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter at the end of the day because you could probably remap it if you want. So it's just strange to me. Why move R1, R2 here when you could have just called this R3, L3 and kept L1, L2 or R1, R2, L1, L2 here? Maybe it's a fighting game thing where it would be like preferential to have R3 back here. I don't know. Kyle used to play Street Fighter on one of these back in the day. He swore by it. I mean, the layout makes sense. It's just the placement of the buttons are just as someone who is not super crazy into fighting games, it's strange if you wanted to use this outside of fighting games, the way that they bound the keys. Yeah, so this controller makes it so that for all fighting games, you're good to go, but then you've got screwed up if you're playing non-fighting games, which, I mean, this is, yeah, it's marketed as a fighting controller. So this is when you plug it in, you're good to go. You don't have to go and switch the, key binds or the controller binds and layout. It's just if you play normal games, you would have to. Okay, and this is interesting. L3, R3 are the stick buttons. No, not on this controller. I'm not sure if the stick buttons do anything for those. L3, R3 are up here. These two on the left. You can't see it because it's super. Oh, actually, is there a top-down angle? There isn't. Ain't no one using this for a normal game. Kev says, I never have a good experience with third-party controllers. They always have dead zones or stick drift. Really? That's like the exact opposite, especially with like then, with magnetic technologies now and Hall effect. Because there's other ones that aren't Hall effect but are still magnetic. So yeah, everyone complains about. Wait, I never have good experience with third party. Yeah, the third parties are we're doing the new techs. The The first party ones are the ones that people complain about. Dead zones and stick drift. Hall Effect and TMR fixed the dead zones and stick drift. They gave them out at Evo Japan. The leverless arcade sticks. I never. The only. I don't know why I get fed. Maybe it's because I actually watch it. Internet drama. The only thing I know coming out of that happened at Evo was the Saikuno drama. That when you said Evo, that's the only thing that came to mind for me. But okay, these leverless arcade sticks. Oh wait. Where did I see these? On maybe like on YouTube Shorts or Instagram or something? Yeah. That's what you meant by leverless. So stickless, right? Is the technical term for them levers? But yeah, this kind of goes back to like, you know, buttons like D-pad for everything, right? They were giving these out? How much are these things? On Amazon. Unavailable. It's funny because they call them arcade stick, but the stick isn't even there anymore. So these are like $100, 78, $200. I feel like these would be good for playing rhythm games too. Or you can make music if you can map all the keys. It's apparently much better for your hand health, and you can do crazy stuff you can't do on a controller. Oh man, I wonder what the learning curve is for this. Very interesting. Yeah, so I've seen these before. I mean, I'm very curious. I need to watch like a breakdown video on like what crazy stuff you can do. I'm trying to think. So right hand is gonna be pretty standard. Oh wait, no. Oh, it's like with a keyboard. If you, I get it now. At first, I was like, wait, wouldn't you just use the movement commands on the left hand and the right hand? You press the buttons. No, you can now cross your right hand over to movement and your left hand over to like input, like the combat commands, right? Which is something you would not do on a controller, because here you would never take your left hand and do any of the inputs to press the like fighting buttons, nor would you ever use your right hand to go over to the movement. But now you can do that with everything laid out. Yeah, this is just like way over my head because I'm not that serious of a fighting game player. But I can see at the highest level how this opens up a lot of possibilities. Yeah, it makes sense. This is interesting. I feel like you could do something maybe similar with the keyboard, right? You just have a specific keyboard you use for gaming, and you remove all the keycaps or keys, and you can build a similar layout to this on a keyboard and get some. That's like the cheap ass method of doing it. If you have a spare keyboard on hand, remove the keycaps and kill all the switches for anything that isn't a layout like this, and you can recreate this on the cheap. If the next gen consoles don't have TMR or Hall Effect joysticks, that would be a shame. When is the next gen supposed to come out? Next gen consoles. Next gen console projected release date. Next gen consoles from Microsoft and Sony are currently projected to be late 2027 or 2028, adhering to a standard 7-year console cycle. Microsoft is heavily okay. Next Xbox, codename Helix. Okay. So we're talking about like over like a year and a half away, potentially longer. The thing is, so Hall Effect controllers and Hall Effect keyboards and all that stuff, right? Because now that it's becoming more accessible, attainable, and like mainstream, even though if the first party controllers don't have it, you can always just buy a third party one for again $30 or less. I think the issue is if they put Hall Effect or TMR, which I don't even remember what the acronym stands for, but if they put that into the first party controllers that either ship with the console or sold, after the fact, standalone, I feel like they're going to charge some price that's not worth it. Like, we're seeing $50 or less controllers from GameSir and the like that have Hall Effect or TMR. And if PlayStation or Xbox released an official one that had it, I imagine it's going to be like 70, 80, 90, $100. In that case, would it be worth spending that much more just so you can have the official branded one when there's cheaper alternatives that are pretty good? Do I starch my Ant-Man? This is why I don't read all your comments. Do I starch my pants to 200 degrees? I don't even know what this even means. I do understand some people starch their pants like when they iron it or fold it and stuff. I have never needed to starch my pants. I don't wear like formal clothing and stuff like that. And actually, I have some formal clothing that I also don't use starch or whatever when I iron and hang it up. Ant-Man, May is Mental Health Month. Is it? I was not aware of that. But good timing in decline. What I said, talking about, I don't know if N key rollover is an issue anymore. Pressing, when you press multiple keys at once, but yeah, the response time of a keyboard versus these controllers, which are tuned specifically for fighting games, probably not on the same level. I say that as the last time when we played Street Fighter together, I was probably no, I was playing wired, but I have played on a wireless controller, which is not ideal for that. Hitbox controller, okay. Flat box, and see with keyboard key. Wait, what? Can search Hitbox controller, SLCD flat box to see those with keyboard keycaps and switches. Ah, okay. So we've got the cross stem, like a cherry or whatever. I guess cherry. Didn't they like the patent for that is like over now or whatever? But so you got your switches, and do they have these on? So AliExpress, not surprising. Are these on Amazon? Hitbox controller. Nope, the same ones come up as earlier. Is this one? Oh, okay, here we go. This one has pretty standard like cross stems. This one's only $50. Tunneling magneto resistance. What's better of the two? Is TMR better than Hall Effect? Or is it one of those things where it's different in preference? Yeah, I think I've heard of Hall Effect for longer than I have TMR. So TMR seems to be the newer hotness on the streets. And it sounds like it is better and probably commands a little bit more of a premium. Let's see. TMR controller. So we looked at Hall effect ones earlier. So set 80. Okay, so 60 for the 8-bit dough. Anything cheaper? TMR anti-drift 50. Ghoulie kit. TMR ones for 30. Okay, so it looks like they're not that much more expensive or around the same price. Fly Digi. Yeah, there's so many freaking brands. Okay, yeah, let's go for a $200 Asus ROG Raikiri. Sort of off topic. What's your go-to caffeine drink when gaming? Lately, ever since they actually started selling Baja Blast in like Costco and stuff like that, and in the grocery stores, I really like Mountain Dew Baja Blast. I also like, though I feel like I haven't seen it. Did they discontinue Mountain Dew Code Red? Is this a thing anymore? Introduced in 2001. I don't remember ever seeing when I go to the grocery store, though I don't shop the soda aisle all too often. Is it discontinued? It's not discontinued. It remains a staple. I feel like my grocery stores don't stock it when I walk by. I see like the original Mountain Dew. I think I see the Voltage one. I see Baja Blast. But this is like a normal soda. I don't really drink energy drinks all too often anymore. Even in the more recent LAN party videos, like I don't have energy drinks unless it's like, you know, someone brought it to share or whatever. But I just stick with like whatever soda. Favorite soda is vanilla Coke. I can't do vanilla sodas. It just tastes odd to me. Like cream soda, vanilla flavored soda, I can't. Orange creamsicle soda, something about cream and soda to me, I am not a fan of. So I was never on the vanilla Coke hype train. I do like cherry Coke, and that might be weird because I feel like people who hate cherry Coke say it tastes like cough medicine. But what other Cokes are there? There's cherry Coke. There's like the diets and zeros and whatever, but I don't really count those because those are trying to mimic the flavor of original Coke. But yeah, I'm just normal Coke. I got a normal Coke actually right here. Melissa brought one from work because they have them for free at work, and she just grabs me snacks and drinks when she comes home. But yeah, in terms of caffeine, Mountain Dew is probably the one of the more caffeinated standard sodas that isn't classified as an energy drink, and that's probably my go-to. We keep Baja Blast on hand for like when we have, you know, family or friends, guests over. But I try not to drink soda except for on occasion. Like today was an occasion. And I'll probably have like one Mountain Dew Baja Blast a week or something. But yeah. I can get Code Red in 2 liter. I need to look to see if Code Red's actually at my grocery store because I don't remember seeing it. Who can down a shot of tea faster? I don't know. Probably me, because Melissa doesn't seem like she. I could. Never. I don't want to say it. But the competitive nature in me would, even though she is more of a tea drinker than, she's more of a tea drinker than me, I could probably down a shot of it faster. Root beer, if natural. Root beer is one of those sodas that I never go for, but if it's there, I'll drink it. Mormons be putting cream in their soda and calling it dirty. Jason, why the hate on Mormons right now? Maybe not hate. That's not the right word. Why the shade being thrown? Or why the dunking on Mormons? Who hurt you? What about Italian sodas? Italian sodas, I can't say I've had many in my life. I've had them made for me, and they were fine because Italian soda is usually, it's like you put in like club soda or some kind of unflavored soda, then you put like the flavored syrup, and then you put the cream in, right? So it's a little bit different than adding cream to just like a Coke, or like, you know, orange soda or something like that. Yeah. Brother, ooh. Love, love, love. Lost 5-0 drink. And lost 5-0. Lost 5-0. Never had this. Energy plus juice. Okay. I have a weird thing where if we're talking about this like energy drink category, is this carbonated or uncarbonated? This is discontinued, it looks like. Disappearing in 2010. Brand. But for me, when I think of energy drink and my preference, if I'm gonna drink some kind of drink that's not coffee or tea, so we're talking about like what you would normally talk about in terms of soda and energy drink. I think I kind of like really prefer carbonation with it, the fizz. So these more like juice ones where, it's flavored drink with caffeine in it. It just tastes so flat, obviously, because if it's not carbonated. I don't know if this one's carbonated or not, but the fact that it says juice and not like soda or anything else, it makes me think that it might not be carbonated. Not carbonated, missed that stuff. Yeah, so if I'm going to go for an energy drink that's not coffee, or a caffeinated drink that's not coffee or tea, because I don't expect those to be caffeinated or carbonated. I do like my energy drinks to be carbonated. And I know nowadays they're making so many drinks that aren't carbonated, but to me, I would just rather just drink plain juice at that point and take a caffeine pill. It's a thing, brother. Mormons also love Jello. Look it up. I know. But the way that you said it after we talked about Italian sodas and creams, it sounded like a dunk. In Decline says, Jason is right. Mormons historically in Utah drink dirty soda and it makes them spiral. Wait, what? I replaced soda with sparkling water. Yeah, Melissa is on that sparkling water kick. There is a sparkling water that I don't mind. It's what's that Asian brand? Asian sparkling water. And it's not because it's that what's it called? This Chi Forest. This is probably one of the few that I could put up with the taste, because it actually tastes like something flavorful, as opposed to what are the other sparkling waters? What's the most famous sparkling waters? Not these ones. These ones are good too. The ice ones are good. Yeah, LaCroix, Spindrift, all of those taste like essence of flavor. And at that point, I'd rather just have no flavor, because essence of flavor actually tastes like, I don't know, like a little bitter. It tastes weird to me. But Chi Forest is a sparkling water. I think it's sugar free. I don't remember, but we got these. They're from Costco. They actually taste like really good. They taste like soda. Yeah, 0 sugar, 0 calories. So these are sugar free. Even they use sugar alternatives, whatever. But like, they actually they taste good. But sparkling water, like bubblies, I think some of these do have decent flavors, but like in the majority of the LaCroix that I've tasted, the majority of Spindrifts and bubblies, it just tastes like not enough flavor. And at that point, it's like almost annoying. It's not sparkling water, it's flavored soda. Usually sparkling water doesn't have sweetener at all. The Spindrift, bubbly, and LaCroix, all of these, none have sweeteners. I guess when I think of sparkling water, I think of carbonated, because these are carbonated. So maybe my definition of sparkling water was wrong. And I know there's sparkling water that's like San Pellegrino or whatever, but I'm talking about these, because these would be considered sparkling waters, no? Don't they have other sweeteners put in to substitute? Coconut water for the win for me. Coconut mineral water is quite refreshing. I don't generally tend to go for coconut water, but if it's there, I'll drink it. It's like the difference between orange juice and orange drink. Uh, Dirty soda is a gateway drug to the sinful secular world for Mormons. Love the burp, so satisfying. Bubbly drinks carbonated have been tested in the past to help wake you up from the fizz created. Interesting. I was not aware of that. I just like the sting in the back of the throat. I don't know. Being at your grandma's house, asking for a water, and she hands you a Perrier sparkling water. Usually, sparkling water is just water and natural essence, no sugars or syrup. Uh, okay, so that's why they taste like crap. Yeah, the natural essence that I would just drink water at that point. Also, yeah, because to me, plain carbonated water is also very strange. Something about maybe it's just from growing up, years and years of just drinking, or just like the history of drinking soda. Right, you're used to getting that carbonation fizz with some kind of ultra sweet flavor, but yeah, I could never just drink like plain sparkling water. I mean, I could drink it, but I would rather just prefer tap water at that point. Tang, Capri Sun, Tropicana, all that stuff. Uh, Orange drink like Tang or like Kool-Aid. Dude, we drink a lot of Tang. Tampico? Huh? Y'all drink Tampico growing up? Or is this just a poor person thing? Actually, at Metro Market, I feel like this is going to be very expensive. Tampico back in the day, I swear it used to be like $1, maybe 150. How much is this now? How much would a Tampico be in today's prices? If I were to buy it, Walmart. No. Where is it? Walmart. $2.68. Okay, that's not that bad. For a gallon? That's a lot of drink. Probably too much sugar. You shouldn't be drinking that much in a week. Ice is what I thought. No, ice is good. That ice stuff. Do they call themselves sparkling water? Ice. So it's kind of, it's sparkling ice, but this would definitely not fall under the category of sparkling water because there's too much flavor in it. Wait, AI calls it sparkling water, but it uses artificial sweeteners like sucralose. So by the other definition that we got earlier, it is not like the crappy tasting sparkling waters. This actually tastes good. I think they say sparkling beverage. Yeah. Okay. That's how okay. I enjoy sparkling beverages. I do not enjoy sparkling waters. Drinking dirty soda is performative alcoholism. Still really bad health-wise, but performative alcoholism. Look. What is there to be performative about? When I go to the bar, which is very rare, or the club, which is very rare also, or when I go to a wedding that has an open bar, which I did go to one recently, back in February, I just drink plain soda. There's nothing to be performative about. There's no need to pretend you're also drinking alcohol to fit in and whatever the heck. Just own it and drink the juice or the soda while everyone else is drinking, hard liquor or beer. Why do we need to be performative with alcoholism? You and Melissa hitting the club, huh? And I'm now that you bring now that we're talking about it, when's the last time we went to the club? Have I even been to the club with Melissa? I think we have, but this must have been over 5 years ago. I'm trying to think. Yeah, we don't live that kind of lifestyle anymore. we're unk and auntie status now. Tampico is so sweet. Yeah, you gotta water it down. Arizona. I do like, well, Arizona. Talking about Arizona tea. Don't they put a crap ton of, well, some of them have a decent amount of sugar in them, don't they? I used to like these Arizona, like Arizona. Let's see, what was the mango tea? I don't even know if it was considered tea. The mucho mango. Arizona made this line of like flavored juices or flavored fruit drink. I remember buying these a lot. The mango one, I think they had a watermelon one. Yeah, these were really good. I haven't had one in years, but I like these a lot. I remember Sobe being tasty as a kid. Yeah, Sobe. Fun fact, here in Canada, we call soda pop. In America, we call soda pop in some regions. But I've always called it soda. Sobe. Snapples are still a thing, right? I don't think I've had a Snapple in years, but I think Snapples are still a thing. Do they still do the glass bottles? But yeah, I remember Sobeys. What year did they cancel? Wait, did they just... Sobe was quietly discontinued by PepsiCo in the US over the past few years, with product nearly vanishing from store shelves by 2023, 2024. Wait, so Sobe lasted into the 2020s? Sobe was an American brand of teas, fruit juice, in the past. Okay, company history. While not officially discontinued, Sobe no longer offers direct ordering or delivery of their products as of 2024, with Sobe acknowledging that availability is limited to special orders. Dang. I had a Sobe snowboard that I bought from Craigslist. They had this promotion where they had like snowboards. I don't know how people got them originally, but I remember having this Sobe snowboard. Rip the do they not do glass bottles anymore? There are like what's that apple juice brand or apple cider glass bottles? They still these ones, the Martinellis. These still do it. These always just seem like such a waste of money to me because they're expensive due to being in a glass bottle because they're heavy to ship and the material for glass versus plastic is way heavier. But like you get no juice in this thing. This is like one sips. Even these full-size Martinelli bottles, these fill up like maybe 2 glasses during the holiday seasons. You got to have like 10 of these on hand when you have family over because like 2 glasses and this thing's already empty. These are very thick-walled glass here. But yeah, glass bottles, it feels nice, but you always get less drink per like dollar spent. It is better. You're right. No microplastics. It's just that it's expensive. Sobe stands for South Beach Beverage Co. I was not aware of that. Yes, Pepsi Blue. I don't even like. I could barely remember the taste of Pepsi Blue. I think you can still buy it on eBay. I don't even remember the taste of it that much. It's blueberry flavored or blue raspberry probably, right? Because that's the thing. But I remembered enjoying this when it existed. You can still buy them on eBay, I think. Let me see. Last time I checked, there were people who still had preserved bottles. No, don't sign eBay. What the okay. Pepsi Blue. I'm sure people have sealed bottles for sale. Unopened. Oh wait, is this from okay, so if you wanted to buy the version from 2004, the one where the bottle is probably starting to like vacuum in on itself and the blue color is starting to fade, people are selling the original ones, but they made a comeback briefly, right? I don't remember what year this was, but you can buy them for a more reasonable price and less expired. Probably still expired, but less expired. Let's see. Yeah, you can buy a 6-pack. Oh, they came back in 2021 limited edition. Okay, this sounds familiar. I love Pepsi Blue. They still sold it the last time I went to Malaysia. Oh, I didn't even realize that it might still be in other markets in other countries. That would definitely be to keep, not to drink. I think the LA Beast did a video. Well, he does eating and and drinking tests. This guy's kind of crazy. But so he did this 4 years ago in 2021. So he probably bought Crystal Pepsi. Remember that? But he bought a new limited edition at the time in 2021, and he somehow got his hands on a 2004 version, and his crazy ass actually drank it. Now, I've never drunk drinking. I've never had I've had soda that's been expired maybe like 6 months or something. I don't think that's that much of a concern. But I've never had soda that's like a decade old or more. I don't know what would happen to the liquid itself and the chemicals and stuff. But now I'm very curious. I will say, okay, let me see. Nah, it's too far. I do still have in their bottles the original Gatorades that were in my Yaris starting from the first 2016 LAN parties. That's kind of a deep cut for anyone who knows. They know those Gatorade bottles. I was cleaning out my car somewhat recently, and there were like 3 bottles, I think, left. And you could, if you look closely, you can see the date printed on them. And Gatorade apparently doesn't last that long. Like, you guys, like, know drinks last like less than a year. So if you bought something like right now, the expiration date will be likely somewhere in 2026. So all those Gatorade bottles are marked 2016. I guess I could drink that because similar to soda, like what really goes bad in a flavored sugar drink in the over like a decade? Pepsi Nitro what was Pepsi Nitro? I don't. Oh, the Draft Cola, nitrogen infused. What? I'm not sure if I've ever had nitrogen infused soda. What it creamier texture, frothy head? It is, but how's the fizz? Similar to a Guinness beer. So when they say it's smoother and creamier, I'm guessing, is this less carbonated, if at all? No, so it's not smoother mouthfeel. Smaller bubbles. So yeah, it'll be less fizzy, it seems. Yeah, I've never had nitrogen soda, I don't think. Isn't that the one where did he throw up? The LA Beast Crystal Pepsi video. I think I remember that. Did he throw up in that one after drinking it? That's my memory if it's correct. Mountain Dew. I don't think I've ever had Mountain Dew Pitch Black either. And Pepsi Blue came out around the same time, disappeared at the same time too, and I still think about them. Was only like a year. What's up, Velos? I have one of the Pepsi bottles from Back to the Future 2. Is there drink in it or is it empty? Airheads Blue Raspberry Soda, that will kick off your diabetes. I will say that I think of the fruit flavored drinks, I think Blue Raspberry is my favorite like sodas and stuff. And that all stemmed from Volt energy drink. I've never had this. But yes, this does look like diabetes in a can. Drinking Surge and putting pixie sticks in your sodas. I mean, I don't wasn't Surge basically not an off-brand, but alternative to Mountain Dew? What was the flavor profile of Surge? I remember the color was like Mountain Dew. it was a citrus flavored soda. Was it more citrusy than Mountain Dew is? I don't even know if I would consider Mountain Dew citrus flavored. Yeah, I mean, it's the last time I had Surge was probably when I was like 10 or something. So like, yeah, many years ago. I don't remember. So we talk about Jolt all the time because I will never forget this soda. So was this the same brand? I think it was, but they changed the logo up for the battery bottles. But Jolt Cola, I remember hearing about it. I just never had any accessible to me. Whereas this Jolt battery bottle blue raspberry flavor was in our grocery stores and stuff like that. So I think at this point in time was when I got obsessed with blue raspberry flavors. And we only ever had the blue one available to us. I've never had, oh, they did have a battery bottle of the Jolt Cola, but I've never had the cherry. I've never had wherever the hell this red one is. I've never had this green ultra, but the blue one, I, I wish I could taste it again now because I think hands down in the history of me, every soda I've ever had in my entire life, I think this was my favorite soda of all time. And it was an energy drink, but energy drink and caffeine content aside, flavor wise, this best soda I've ever had. At least that's how my brain likes to remember it because again, they discontinued this. I don't remember what year, like in the early 2010s or something like that. So it has been like 15 years since I've had one, but it never leaves my brain. Average Jolt, wait, what? Average Jolt Enjoyer in the third pick. What is this? Lot of 150 vintage battery bottles. Oh, but caps. Yeah, shipping the bottles probably would be pretty expensive. But yeah. Did anyone keep the Coke bottles with their names? I don't think I ever got one with my name on it. Pepsi Nitro tastes like ass. Can I buy some now? Are they still available? Sounds like Pepsi Nitro was introduced in 2022, discontinued. I bet you could probably get it on eBay, like all things, but being a carbonated drink, if that's part of the draw to it, yeah, something that's a few years old probably isn't gonna kick the same. To drink it, you were instructed to chill the can and pour it hard into a glass to create a foamy head. Though some found it became flat quickly. I don't think I would like Pepsi Nitro. Just reading it, how it's creamy, smooth, kind of like a Guinness. Yeah. Like having a Guinness mouthfeel, foamy. I'm not sure if that sounds like something I would enjoy in a soda. He threw up more liquid than he drank for the Pepsi Crystal. Okay, yeah. That sounds familiar. Remember the 7 Up Yours commercials? Make 7 Up Yours. So DNL, right? That was the 7 Up upside down. The DNL. This was 2002 to 2005 by 7 Up, famously marketed as the upside down, opposite of caffeine. Wait, opposite of caffeine free, clear 7 Up. Complete with the. So this one did have caffeine. I don't remember. I don't know if I've ever had a DNL. Is 7 Up still a thing? This is how out of the soda game I am. 7 Up is still a thing, right? It still exists. Okay. Here's the thing. When you guys go to the grocery store and you are, let's say you're throwing a party or whatever, right? And you need to get some 2-liter sodas. Are you getting the branded stuff like Coke, Pepsi, 7 Up? Or are you getting like the Dr. Thunder and Sierra Lime or I don't even know what the generic soda names are, but you know what I'm talking about, right? They have all these funny. This is like the third party of the soda world. Now we're talking about third party controllers. Do you buy the branded stuff for more expensive, or do you get the grocery store brand equivalent stuff? Obviously, if there's no price difference, you go for the branded stuff, right? But there is always a price difference, and there's always a really good sale on the grocery store brand stuff. I go for that stuff. But I'm curious what you guys do. I buy Dr. Thunder. Yeah, right? Everybody knows Dr. Thunder. It tastes just like Dr. Pepper, except usually at like half the cost. Sprite is for just drinking. 7-Up is for mixed drinks. I never thought of it like that. They had to compete with 7-Up called Upper 10. My girlfriend told me Pepsi Nitro tastes like... I don't know about that. My favorite soda is OK Cola champagne back in Puerto Rico and Malta, India. Thank God I can still get Malta, India here in Alaska. I have never heard of those. It makes me laugh thinking grown adults are walking through the candy aisle just getting their groceries. Like, bro, come on, ew. Wait, what are you talking about? Oh, Mountain Dew used to have an energy drink called Amp. That was pretty tasty. Then they rebranded to Mountain Dew. Okay, yeah. I remember Amp. I remember Mountain Dew Energy. Did they No. No. It was Mountain Dew Rise. I thought Mountain Dew Energy was still around. So they used to have Amp, and then they had Amp at the same time that they had Mountain Dew Rise. I remember this because it was around the LAN party stories time. Yes, these bottles look so freaking cool. They look like the wallpapers that Marques Brownlee used to put on his phones and desktop. Mountain Dew Rise then became Mountain Dew Energy, and then what happened? It featured but then it was discontinued in 2024. The Mountain Dew Energy. So I thought Mountain Dew lasted a little bit longer. Can you Game Fuel? I swear they had Game Fuel or Amp at the same time. Apparently this is still a thing. But I used to like Amp a lot too. They used to have Amp and then the Code Red equivalent of Amp. That was like pre Mountain Dew Rise and Energy. And I think I've talked about this before. A lot of like Monster and Rockstar and those ones, I don't like the chemically flavors that they typically have to them. Like, I just prefer an energy drink to just kind of taste like soda. I don't want it to also taste like, taurine or whatever the heck other things that is required to have to make an energy drink, right? Like the Red Bull chemical taste. So yeah, I've always gravitated towards Amp back then when it was like one of the few energy drinks that just simply tasted like a soda. You couldn't even tell it was an energy drink. Like, I feel like when you drink Red Bull, Rockstar, and Monster, and a lot of those ones, in a blind test, you'd be like, okay, I'm drinking an energy drink. But with an Amp, you would be confused for drinking Mountain Dew. Game Fuel was a soda previously. Not, yeah, it feels like they're shuffling around the names and like what product categories these are all in. Yes, Coke 100%. I know there are those Coke purists where or Pepsi purists where they only like that product and only that one. So they don't want the opposite brand. And they don't want the generic brands either. To me, the plain cola drink at Walmart or whatever, to me that tastes close enough to Coke where I would buy it at a discount. Yeah, gotta get the brand stuff or I'll get roasted. Bruh, people can judge me all they want. I'm gonna put that money towards the food. The off-brand stuff was nasty to you. It depends where. It doesn't matter where it is. Walmart, Safeway, QFC. I'm going for the off-brand stuff. Who drinks? That's a good question. Okay, we're gonna end the controller poll because now we're on to the soda discussion. Or not the controller poll. End poll. It evened out back to about 60. What is it? What's the spread? 63-37. It actually got closer near the end here. 151 votes. Xbox got so it was almost closer to a 6-4 or 60-40 split. Mountain Dew Livewire. How many freaking energy drink type products did Mountain Dew have? My goodness. Why couldn't they just keep one? Like, yeah, I forgot this was even a thing. Mountain Dew Livewire. But next poll. Soda / pop. We'll call it both for you guys. Daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, or never. Rarely or never. Okay. Yeah, I'm like at probably 1 to 2 cans a week. Ever tried NOS? Yeah, I remember NOS. I mean, is NOS still a thing? It is. I think it still exists, right? But the NOS bottles. When did this come out? I feel like this came out at some point, either around or a little bit after Fast and the Furious, and that, you know, with their NOS bottles in the cars and stuff like that. But I feel like this got inspiration from that. But I haven't had this in years. I just remember the one time I did try it, I wasn't that fan of the flavor, so I never got it afterwards. Maybe I should give it another try. I mean, we're talking most likely 15 to 20 years since I've tried it. When did this come out? Release date. 2005, so 21 years ago. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've had it. Now it's owned by Monster. Okay, interesting. I can't drink the off-brand. It makes me sick. Oh, that's interesting. I've never known anyone in like real life, or I've never experienced drinking the off-brand stuff and getting sick. That seems very strange to me. It's not like Coke, at least in the States, is made with like nice, you know, pure cane sugar or anything. Like I've heard of like Mexican Coke being really, you know, tasty and stuff due to that, but is Shasta off-brand? Shasta. I don't know if I would consider Shasta off-brand. No, let me take this. Shasta, budget-friendly, premium off-brand. I don't know if I would consider Shasta. I guess it's closer to off-brand, but it's like, it's their own line of all the different flavors. When I was talking about the other off-brand stuff, like Dr. Thunder, like this isn't even, at least I don't think it's part of a line. Dr. Thunderberry apparently is a thing. The sodas are made differently, unlike the cereals though. I eat a lot of cereal. It's just a snack for me. Like late night or, you know, randomly throughout the day, in between meals. I like eating cereal. And around me, the grocery stores, they have really good deals. I only buy cereal on deals because, my God, a box of cereal for $4 or $5 is crazy. Because you eat you eat a box in like 3-ish sittings. The boxes are tiny. But they have these crazy deals but you have to like buy 5 at a time and then it become like $2 a box, which is a pretty good deal. But recently I went to the grocery store and they didn't have any of the deals going on, but we got all this milk that's about to go bad, so I needed some cereal to pair with the milk because I'm not one of those plain drink milking people. drinking people. I can't just drink a full glass of milk. I need something with it. Brownies, cookies, cereal, you know, something like that. Cake. But cereal is usually my go-to choice that we keep on hand. So then I looked at the bag cereal section, and those are like always a good deal. You get those like Mallow Mateys or the off-brand whatever Frosted Flakes, which for funnily enough, the off-brand Frosted Flakes is also called Frosted Flakes because they're just flake cereal with frost on them. But everything else, they like, you know, use a different name. But it seems like there isn't a trademark issue using Frosted Flakes. But I picked up some of the Cocoa Pebbles equivalent of off-brand cereal. And it tastes the same thing. Like, I can't even tell. And it was way cheaper. So, yeah. For me, going to the grocery store, if off-brand exists and it's at a decent discount, whether it be butter, eggs, milk, chips usually are good enough sale. You don't have to go off-brand. But like, there's a lot of off-brand product categories, like frozen section too. I'll get the off-brand stuff if the taste is pretty much the same. Not me eating a box in one sitting. I feel like I think at most when I do my like big bowls, those smaller cereal boxes, you'll get 2 servings out of them. I don't know if I've ever sat in one sitting and eaten an entire box. I usually try to limit how much cereal I eat because I like the unhealthy cereals. Actually, no, I take that back. I like some of the healthy ones, like Special K with berries in it, when they go on sale, are not as unhealthy as straight up, you know, Cocoa Pebbles and freaking Reese's Puffs and anything else. But I try to not eat a ton in a sitting. Yeah, 1 box, that's a lot. He's doing the Sykkuno thing for me. Speaking of Sykkuno and Evo, you guys following that drama? That is crazy. It's not really crazy. This is exactly what you would expect in the streaming community. A bunch of freaking people who have gotten way too famous and can't keep it in their pants. But cereal is quick energy. Malto Meal makes the best cereal. Dino Pebbles, exactly. Yeah, Malto Meals, they're the one who makes all the off-brand stuff, right? Oh no, or am I thinking of Mallow Mateys? Oh yeah, no, yeah. Cinnamon Toasters, Tutti Fruities. I mean, we got the Cookie Crisp, we've got the Fruit Loops, we've got the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Golden Puffs. I feel like this cereal, Golden Crisps and Honey Smacks, are pretty kind of polarizing, but I love Golden Crisps and Honey Smacks, which are basically the same cereal in different packaging. Like, when you eat this cereal, your piss smells like it for some reason. Anyone notice that? If you want to experience it, because you've never experienced it, buy this cereal, eat a big bowl, and the next time you pee, it smells exactly like this. Kind of like the whole asparagus thing. I don't know why. I don't know if I should be scared at that, but that is what happens. It makes your pee smells like Golden Crisps. It's not necessarily a bad smell. Well, it's like mixed with pee, so yeah, it's kind of... But it's crazy. I do not drink Capri Sun or Sunny D. We don't really keep orange juice in the house. We used to, but then we always found that we never drank it in time, and then it kind of expires and gets like super, almost like carbonated. It gets like really sour because we never drink it in time. Yeah, they did that WoW promotion. I don't remember what flavor the WoW was. That Code Red in the Voltage? WoW Mountain Dew flavor. Oh, it was like an orangey flavor, right? Where they had that promo. Citrus Blackberry. Citrus Cherry. Oh yeah, so these were totally different flavors. I don't think I ever got my hands on any of these WoW Mountain Dews. Do they still do points in caps for like Call of Duty and stuff? Is this still a thing? Oh, we're on Wowhead. I didn't realize I clicked on a Wowhead link. But do video games still give like bonus XP and like I don't know, points to redeem in game for like modern FPSs and stuff like that? Halo, I remember Kyle said he drank so much of this, he started being blue, the Halo one. Oh my god. Just to get your points in Halo. I've only ever seen Call of Duty Monster Energy cans. The Snapple facts are still a thing. I like the Snapple when they were in glass bottles. You can play with the cap. They popped. Cereal sugar low-key sneaks up on me. It's like 20 grams of sugar in 1 cup. Yeah, 1 cup of cereal? No. Let me think. I don't measure cereal out by the cup, but a cup is not that big. A cup is like a little tiny thing of porridge. No. You need like... I feel like a proper bowl of cereal is somewhere between 2 to 3 cups. I've never measured it, though. Out. All of those are chemicals and diabetes in a bag. Yes, you should be afraid. You're right. Though, just get... How often do y'all go to the doctor? Do y'all go like annually and get like your panels done and just to make sure like all your your numbers are okay? It's been a couple of years since I've done mine. I need to go back. I just hate going to the doctor, man. It just scheduling a doctor's appointment, going there, them making you wait. It's annoying. So I understand if you don't go often. I don't go annually. I go whenever something's up, which is not a good way of approaching it. I get annual blood checks and stuff. So you're looking out for yourself. I have blood work done every 3 months. Okay. So we got people. I'm going next week. My dad will only eat cornflakes, the worst cereal. Cornflakes, if you cut up some strawberries and throw them in, it's not as bad. Or throw in some like sliced almonds or some nuts. But yeah, plain cornflakes, not that good. Actually, what I've never really tried, I've tried like protein. So like I've had protein Cheerios, right? These were on sale one time and I got them and they're pretty good. But I've never had like Magic Spoon. Apparently Premier Protein has something. What's up? All right. Time to end soon. 5 more minutes. Oh, it's already 7:40. Ghost cereal apparently has a protein now, but y'all ever have this protein cereal so that you can pretend like you're being slightly healthier? Special K high protein. I wonder if this one is not as bad. But my issue with these are that they're so expensive just because they know there's a target audience of people who want more protein and don't want to get it through protein powder because those can be disgusting. So it's like, hey, everyone loves cereal. If we try to pack more protein into it, then we could jack up the price. And like Magic Spoon, I think normally even at Costco works out to be like $7 or $8 a box, which is about 4 times as expensive as non-protein cereals when I get them on sale at the store. So I can never justify it, but I think some of these they probably try like they say how much sugar. The font's too small for me to see, but I'm pretty sure that some of these numbers are like less sugar. 1 bag count. Okay, let's look at the nutrition information on here. So 20 grams per 1 cup of protein. This is 1 30-ounce bag for $17. Oh my god. How many servings is this? Yeah, powders is way cheaper, but this is more convenient and tasty. How much sugar? Where the hell is the sugars at? I'm not seeing sugar's not even on here. 5 grams of total fat, cholesterol, sodium. Wait, sorry. It's under the carbs. I'm blind as hell. 4 grams of added sugar, but total sugars is 5 grams. Okay, here it is. Well, how much is like normal cereal? What the hell? Let's look at the worst cereal. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, 1 cup. Nutrition facts. Only 2 grams of protein in this one. This one, so 1 cup with milk. So we do no milk, just the cereal itself. 12 grams of sugar, but in a sitting, you're eating like 2 to 3 cups. So that makes a big difference over time. So this one is like less than half the sugar, but it's still not like 0 sugar. But yeah, dude, who the hell? And then 9 ounce? Only 9 ounce is like very tiny for $5. What is 42 grams to ounces? How many servings are you getting out of this whole box? Of course, they wouldn't tell you. No, I would like to know how much total protein without doing the math this box has. Cornflakes and sugar is probably the only healthy cereal. Kix shouldn't be too bad, right? Kix, I know they sweeten it a little bit, but yeah. Why do I keep getting monkeypox and dead foot, bro? I don't get it. Man who never goes to the doctor. Look, I went to the doctor for those things. They couldn't answer it, okay? So maybe we shouldn't give doctors that much credit. I'm hooked on one of those healthy drinks, Kinetic. It's great, tastes great, and it is necessarily bad for you with no caffeine. And is it necessarily bad for you with no caffeine? I've never heard of, I don't think I've heard of Kinetic, but. Oh, Kinetic drink, you said? Clean energy. They told you it's clean, so it must be clean. Right? What do we got? 12 grams of pure patented ketones. Oh, here it is. I mean, this is 60 calories, 0 fat, 0 cholesterol, a little bit of sodium, no fiber, no protein, carbonated filtered water, some chemicals, some elements. So a little bit of potassium and magnesium. At this point, I have no idea what ketones are. Am I even saying it right? Ketones? No. 12 grams of, okay, what is ketone? Are energy compounds produced by the liver breaking down fat when okay, well, normally high ketone levels make blood acidic. Okay. Alternative energy source. Okay, alternative energy source. For the brain, heart, and muscles when glucose is unavailable. I mean, it sounds like scientifically there are health benefits to this. And for some reason, when you talk about like health drinks and stuff like that, I've been getting a lot of, I don't know why, I've been getting a lot of ads for this Huel stuff. Meal on, has anyone done these meal on the goes? Wait, was this what Taro was drinking in the land footage? It might be. Maybe that's why I'm starting to get ads for it. Because I watched it on YouTube. But these, I've always kind of been interested in these, but I've never tried them. Just because of how convenient they're supposed to be, right? You mix a drink, you drink it, you get your calories, you get your protein, you get, your nutrition, whatever. That's convenient because I often miss meals because I'm so distracted with what I'm doing, whether it be work or gaming or, whatever. I'm taking care of the girls now. But to have a drink that could be a meal replacement, that sounds very enticing, but also there's no way this stuff could taste good. Like there's just no way a meal replacement would ever taste even like remotely as good as like a chocolate peanut butter protein shake. Like there's always a caveat, and I think taste and cost is usually the ones for these meal replacements. But have any of you guys tried this? Google is your doctor. Google can't do blood tests for you though. I like going. My doctor is hot and flirts. Says N2 Tech. I do my appointments online and never have to wait. Wait, what can you really do online? I guess like if there's something physically wrong with you, you can show, and I guess they can look at you. But I feel like to do blood panels and stuff like that, urine samples. I don't know if they need that. You kind of gotta go. Though you could always go do the labs are usually separated from like the doctor visit. The labs like after the fact. So maybe you could do that, get the lab, and then do it to your own convenience. A lot of us in the South growing up put sugar on Frosted Flakes or more sugar on Frosted Flakes. I don't think I've ever added like granulated or powdered sugar to cereal because the cereal has enough of it in it. I just like cornflakes or Raisin Bran. I can eat that no problem. The healthiest cereal that I probably enjoy, and I don't even know if it's even that healthy. It probably has a lot of sugar. Special K or Bunches of Oats cereal. Is it Honey Bunches of Oats? But they have other like strawberries. But these probably still have a lot of sugar in them. Honey Nut Cheerios are actually surprisingly very good. But you can buy the off-brand of. How much sugar is in this? Y'all should just drink girl at what? What's the typo? What was girl supposed to say? What should we drink at the next land? Drink Heal or a meal replacement instead of eating? All right, Honey Nut Cheerios. What are we looking at here? How much sugar do you have? 12 grams. Oof. Honey Nut Cheerios has the same amount of sugar as Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Less calories, though. They both have 12 grams per cup. Oh, no. I thought Honey Nut Cheerios would be less. No wonder it tastes so good. You should try Coke caffeine free. Better taste than regular Coke. I'm not sure if I've seen that around. You do not want ketones unless you're on a certain type of weight loss diet. Ketones are basically carbs, I'm guessing you're trying to say. Grape nuts, gravel. I've never had grape nuts. Start your day with 60 grams of sugars, 5 cups of cereal. I don't eat cereal for breakfast. My breakfast every day is pretty standard. It's either sausage or bacon, 2 eggs, and either a hash brown patty or like a slice of whatever bread that we have on hand with some like either butter or butter and jam or some kind of spread. Not jam, fruit spread. The slightly healthier version. Wait, no, jam is supposed to be the healthier one compared to jelly, right? Jelly is sugar added. Jam is more natural. Whatever it is. The cool little glass jar that's in the shape of a hexagon or octagon, whatever. That's like my breakfast every single day. I eat a crap ton of eggs. Ketones are what your fat breaks down into energy. It's what your body makes when you're fasting. It's a form of clean energy while you're fasting. But then these drinks have it in them. But, okay, that was supposed to only be 5 minutes. Preserves are better than jam. Jam better than jelly. There it is. And that's what we have. We got the preserves. Yeah. We got the Safeway Signature Select preserves. I feel like with the more recent trend of like everyone trying to be healthy, preserves. I never knew, like, I don't remember ever as a kid or growing up getting preserves. I remember jam and jelly, there being a distinct difference between those two. And we always got jelly because we didn't know what the hell. We just, we weren't as health conscious 20 years ago. or more. But now it's jelly jam and preserves. Okay. Yes. Yeah, so we do the preserves on sliced bread and some salt on it. Salt with some saltiness with the preserves. Really tasty. You eat good breakfast. What the hell? I have some instant oatmeal and a banana. I make time to cook breakfast. Also, these days I'm also preparing or feeding the girls breakfast and stuff too. So I do it at the same time. Read the bottom of cereals. It says made with bioengineered food ingredients. No way. Bioengineered. This is Honey Nut Cheerio. Amount of cereal. Oh, here's the ingredients. Whole grain sugar. Oh, vitamin E, natural almond flavor. Almond ingredients. I'm not seeing bioengineered food ingredients. But maybe other cereals might have it. Okay, yes, I do gotta go. Yes. Yes, I should go eat and help give the girls a bath before Melissa throws a shoe at me. There should be a video up this week. If it gets approved, it's a sponsored video. Oh, and this is what the video is. Last thing. Did I show it last time? I don't know if I showed this because we upgraded internet, but my old router was limiting the speed we could get. But now we have fast. Wait, I think I might have showed it last time. But now we get 2 gigabit, which for some reason this test. I don't want to do the other test because it will reveal my IP. But the new video that hopefully can release this weekend once the sponsor approves, which is TP-Link. It's switching out my router and testing my old router versus new one and my new internet speed. So, yeah. Is an Asian throwing a shoe? Never. I don't think Melissa has ever thrown a shoe at me. But all right. Fun stream, y'all. I'm gonna end this poll though first so we can get the results. But had fun. I will see you guys in the Discord server. Oh, there's a YouTube communities thing. One last thing. Apparently, there's this YouTube communities thing that I just enabled, which they had it years ago. So if you go to posts or community, there's this community tab. It has other posts, but apparently, oh my God, somebody asked for a free PC already 6 hours ago. But apparently, YouTube now has this community thing where you can post things and other people will also see it. So it's kind of like how when I used to only be the person posting here, now this could generate community discussions and stuff. So if you want to reach a larger amount of my viewer base than the Discord channel does, like if you want to ask someone for advice or something, this is like YouTube's own forum per creator now. So you guys should definitely play around with it. I just want to see what happens when you guys post. I don't even remember getting a notification for this. So maybe I have to mess with notification settings. But yeah, you guys can have discussions and stuff here as well as the Discord server. But other than that, I will see you guys later. And yeah, bye-bye.